Une obligation. Détruire tout. C'est une obligation. C'est une obligation.
Go ahead.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Steel Division 2 Divisional Disaster Tournament. Tournament that will hopefully not be too much of a disaster. I'm joined here today by Mr. Khan Auric, so say hello Khan.
Hello, hello, hello. How you doing?
It's good to have you on board Khan, as we're going to need all the help we can get to try to figure out what terrible goddamn decks these people are playing. And let me tell you, I've been looking through some of the decks that people have made for this tournament, and they're god-awful. They're really bad, so good job, guys. Like, you've done a good job, and especially following our rule set. So for the guys who are just coming in and have no idea what the hell this is about, essentially it's a tournament where you may have to make the worst deck possible within reason. And you're going to be playing your opponent's deck, and your opponent will be playing your deck. So you're going to be playing a different deck every single time. So you're incentivized to make the deck as bad as possible to make your life easier when you have to go up against it. This is a 3-round round-robin tournament, so everyone get a chance to play. We have, I think, like 14-ish people in the tournament so far. And yeah, we're just going to be casting as many replays within reason for this live stream as they come in, And we'll probably do a few of these replays during the week next week with me and Khan's regular casts. But yeah, we got the first few replays set up. So we're going to go back to the awesome Commander & Conquer music and get that sorted out, and we'll finally get to see some terrible divisions go at it. So stay tuned, it'll be just a few minutes. And welcome, guys, to the first match. We got Herr Robert facing off against Curbs here on Ocean North. And I just want to show off the decks real fast, as I said I would. So what you're seeing on screen right now is Herr Robert's deck. And as you can see, it's pretty nasty. A lot of Nashorns, which probably seems like a good thing. But considering that most people are taking light tanks, it's a little bit overkill. And it's the Nashorn, it dies to anything. And taking a look at Curb's deck here, it's not too bad. It's pretty generous on the T-34s, I will admit, and a bit of off-map artillery in A phase, but the air power is,
laughable.
yes, it's not that great, and got a lot of anti-tank rifles as well. Gotta be shooting up. So actually, to the replay itself, I mean, God, just opening is, I think it speaks for itself, Khan.
I mean, it certainly does. It's 20-4 already. Curbs, unfortunately, really got put behind the 8 ball here.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you take a look at the infantry, he's got 10 squads of infantry, and that's the last him the entire match. I think right now, just the A infantry from Curbs deck is going to allow that to be quite possible here. So.
And her Roberts deck that he built for Curbs. This is brutal, because all the infantry are in the RSO transport, which go a whopping 40 kilometers an hour on the road.
Yeah, Herr Robert apparently wants to just not give Curbs any moment to breathe here either. I mean, he's curb stomping him. Down to the south, of course, that town is entirely engulfed in red. I mean, it's awful. Yeah,
I mean, yeah. We got motorbike recons leading the front, fighting off some leaders. Leaders have, Sturmgewehrs, and they got T-26 backing them up.
Yeah, but by the same token, they have Sturmgewehrs and they have a T-26 backing them up. I mean, like, it's only barely more armored than those motorcycles are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the kind of funny thing here is actually we're seeing this cluster biplane moving into the south, the M2 NLB.
Oh.
I think this actually might be the first time I've ever seen this played in a, well, I'm going to loosely call this a competitive match.
Mm-hmm. It's not that bad because it does drop a decent amount of clusters, and if it kills just one tank, it does pay itself off, and these Stugs are slowly coming in. The Trini Mill can barely do anything, and...
Well, the mildly amusing thing about this is that the biplane is only barely fast enough to catch up to them. And it takes out a scoop, though, so...
It paid itself off. It did its thing. So, yeah, like, just to not get people confused, Her Roberts playing Curb's deck at Rusine, and Curbs is playing Her Roberts deck. So, Curb's deck, not the player right now, is pretty good in terms of, like, actually being good. Not good as in being bad, which you want for this tournament. Things get confusing here. Because look, Her Roberts meant to do some pretty fast maneuver warfare. I mean, he's rushing the hill here for Absam and Cheekies, which are arguably not a terrible unit.
Certainly true. And besides that, I mean, the funny thing about this, though, is I don't want to say this too soon, but I do wonder if this is going to kind of show off some inherent flaws, if the Axis divisions are that bad at their worst, or if the Soviet divisions are just that good at their worst. You know, the whole thing you always see, those dating profiles, it's like, if you can't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Like, I wonder if that's going to come out in this kind of thing here.
I have a feeling, like, the German decks, or Axis decks in general, will be pretty bad, because, like, I've seen a lot of the 78th STEM division being picked, and 12th Tartlek, because you could pick really slow transports. As we see right now, Curbs is bringing in more infantry, but they're all in RSOs. That's just brutal. Imagine having to bring up your infantry transports with 30 kilometers an hour. That's just not nice.
Yeah. This looks rather painful already. But folks, don't worry. Not all these matches will be quite this devastatingly terrible here. Or maybe they will, but you'll just have to find out as we kind of go forwards.
We got a Pack 43 in, which is definitely not a good choice in a match like this. There's not going to be... I don't think anyone has probably picked an IS-2 tank.
Actually, the devastating thing here is that only finally the biplane cluster to the north, 3 anti-air pieces were firing on it. It still got bombs off, and then only then did it die. I mean,
oh God.
I know fighters have just been brought back into viability in their flight paths here, but that's painful to watch too.
Yeah, we got more Stugs being brought in. Yeah, her Robert's doing a really good job here. It's just coming down to the infantry transport at the start, and he's got like a lot of these M5 Stuarts, which is nice, and these biplanes are working quite well, because a lot of people don't really take out good anti-air in this tournament, so even those crappy biplanes will do their thing.
Well, when they have a surprising amount of survivability. Also fascinated, actually, we actually have a super early off-map call-in from Curb's deck. So Herr Roberts calling it in on the back lines here. Was that 152s, I want to say?
I think it's 152s.
But if you look at actually the Curb's deck, 2 of those in phase A, and then we have basically the 122. Again, I don't know if Curbs is trying to be a real mensch here or what the deal is, but you can see right now we have the line of Dushkas.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of these Duska trucks in the tournament. Because they're very cheap, they're not that great, but by God, you can get a lot of them. And in C phase, a lot of decks get these in 27 per card.
Well, it's like playing, okay, this might be showing my age here, but this is like playing the old game Armor Alley. Where you have your convoys going from one side to the other, and you're like, okay, you know the lead vehicle is going to get dropped pretty quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if it actually might happen here. Yeah, this is a T-26. But with all those heavy machine guns, they might be able to suppress or even force these guys to surrender.
They might. I'd love to see these constructs actually kill like a T-26. It could do, yeah. It's enough HE firepower of, I don't know, a dozen Duskas. I don't know. This just reminds me of Commander and Conquer Generals with the technical trucks. Toyota Roars. The Toyota Roars.
Oh man! Now we have 3 biplanes going to the south, up to the north. Though, let's see. More and more bombs being off-map being shelled here. Shockingly, this Flak 38 is not engaging any of these Dushkas, which to me would be a perfect opportunity here.
Oh, he's getting shot at now, and the Duska Congo line comes in.
This is absurd already.
Just a blob of...
Well, the mildly amusing thing for this is that, again, like, you're never going to see this ever again.
Yes.
There's no reason in hell.
This
But
is...
it's like devastatingly gorgeous in its evilness.
This is the reason, like, we've done this tournament format before in SC44, and it's so much fun because you just see all the things that you shouldn't see usually in a match. Like, we're seeing recon bikes take the front line, we're seeing biplanes do the thing. A T-34 down south might actually, like, shut down the spawn here.
There's nothing left to spawn. Robert gave everything to Curbs that he did not want. I mean, geez, we have these KFZ 4s, and these things are just god awful.
Yeah. And they're not that good. Yeah, not good at all. Really, any recon, like, not armored vehicle is usually a bad vehicle. But yeah, I think it's safe to say Robert has won this match, and he has a dirty deck. I'm really looking forward to see if anyone can beat Robert with an even worse deck, because this is the worst we've seen so far, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, so Curbs, I'm sorry, man. You're too honorable. Way too honorable with your deck.
Yeah, it's T-34s. I mean, they're good. They're good in this sort of matchup here, and the off map is proven to be pretty powerful as well. And that's going to be a GG.
You know, which is unfortunate. I desperately wanted to see those Dushkas going up against those T-26s in the north.
Yeah.
We actually had some nice little group duels going on there, but yeah. This is exactly what you expect. Team stats, I mean, kills, everything like that. So.
Nothing really crazy in kills or losses here. So
there wasn't enough time for it to happen.
So yeah, do you have anything else to say about that one, Khan?
Oh my god, like I'm licking my lips about how devastatingly awful this is. I can only wait for the next one.
Yep. So we're gonna go back to intermission, and we'll get the play up and running. So don't go anywhere. See you in a bit. And we are back for round number 2. And here we have Protoss up against Otto von Matic. So I'm just pulling up Protoss's deck on the screen right now, and what do you think about it, Khan?
Like how do you describe this? Like it's just like flaming junk here and there. It's not Herr Robert bad, but it's certainly up there. What are you thinking?
It's pretty generous on the T-34s and C phase. To be fair, I will give them that. But yeah, it's it is something. I'm just trying to pull up the other deck at the moment, but I might have not actually taken up Von Grimes. Here we go.
I mean, from Protoss's perspective, it's again oddly generous. Oddly generous.
And so go ahead. I'm just pulling up the other
that's
deck.
quite fun. Honestly, I'm kind of amused because already we actually have a Dushka charge over here in the northern side of this map. 6 of them. But infantry matching up between the two, there's a lot of light tanks here. So, shockingly enough, despite the fact that we have 16 possible M5s coming into B phase, in A phase, there's just a couple of Stewards, a couple of Lees, rather, that actually could get taken out. It's really weird because it almost seems that this could be just like a noob deck. Like, this is something that I would do if I had just come to Steel Division now.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it's also like a pretty standard 184th in a sense, because it's 184th. It's usually seen as a pretty bad deck, even though it's not terrible. We are up against 14th Infantry, which is arguably not very good. But the Panzer II Luxus in this case, especially in this sort of thing where there's a lot of light armor, might not do too bad.
No, it might not. But the initial kind of struggle, as you can see, of course, I mean, you have exactly what you expect. We have Lux trying to take out some of these light trucks. I mean, congratulations, big freaking deal. And we have the only time that the General Lee won't be running away from his blue counterparts.
Yeah, this is like perfect armor to go up against for these Lees. Just trucks trying to fight against the Luxes, of course, still not going to work, but the middle of the map is pretty quiet. It's really everything's happening up north.
But again, that's exactly what you expect. But I guess even the Dushkas up north, the Dushkas are just kind of there to just be a blade of armor. They're there to walk point, take hits, and keep on ticking.
Definitely not going to run out of him.
Probably not, yes.
Like, more bad transports. Otto von Matic is taking the Vosulich, which is pretty much the Russian RSO. Only goes 35 kilometers an hour, so a little bit faster than the RSO, but not really that good. They're going to take a little bit to get to the front line.
Yeah, stealth is still pretty shit, to say the least. Go for it, please.
No, go ahead.
No, it's going to be anything more than just going to be these FK-288s, which are going to be shockingly effective here. It's one of those things that I don't know if Otto was being nice, or if it was like, you know what, I got to give him something. Like, I don't know what the case is here.
And we're seeing on Otto's side here, he's bringing up some of those F-22 field guns. Not airplane, unfortunately, but these medium caliber field guns are gonna do a really good job, I think, because you can use them in artillery. They're gonna pretty much deal with all the armor you're gonna come up against. They're not bad. They're good multi-purpose.
They certainly are. Again, looking at a lot of divisions that are available here, like you said, the Tartuluk is definitely a high preference, let's say.
Yes.
On the Soviet side, what do you go for? Do you go for the 184th? I remember when it first came out, the 184th wasn't god-awful, it just wasn't, top tier.
Yeah, I think 184th was picked a few times, but also a lot of the combat groups, such as Group Charania and Berezina. Just for also clarity's sake, we're only allowing the, vanilla decks, non-DLC decks being played, essentially. So we're not going to see anything like Viborg or the Poles, for example, just because we want to include everyone in the tournament, because you have to play your opponent's deck.
Indeed, and unfortunately there's no Finns, because, the Finns are still strong in their own way, but they can be devastatingly terrible too if you want to build them that way.
Yes, we're seeing a bit of an infantry attack up north with your favourite infantry unit here, Khan, as such.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw that broken heart, and I was like, man, my own heart is breaking.
Yeah. We're going to be seeing a lot of ersatz trooping, guys. Just FYI.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we're just seeing a pretty, steady fight across midline. A little bit better than last match, as it's only been a 10, 9, 15, 10, 14 disadvantage to Otto.
The one that's kind of amusing to me is that I feel like we're going to see a ton of Otto Machikis today, and that just might be because they desperately want to give the advantage to the German infantry fight. But can you imagine when we have this round robin thing and have the Otto against Otto Machiki? Like, it's just going to be hellfire, dude. It's just going to be, it's insane.
Yeah,
it's going to be incredible.
We're also seeing a lot of leader units. I mean, look down south, we got, a bunch of leader units here, but they're only like 2-man squads, so they're useless.
Oh, of course. Oh, come on. They're first LTs. The first and second LTs, the butter bars, just look on their first deployment here. This would be terrible.
We've got some Saparis trying to flank around. I might actually kill Luxo if their Panzerfaust, which would be a good kill. Never mind.
But you know what? The effort was there, and an A for effort, but an F for results.
Yeah. We're seeing artillery here from the Soviet side. Otto starting to pound away at Protoss's hillside position. Yeah, I think artillery is going to be a real key player in this tournament, because there's going to be a lot of shock targets to be blowing up, and a lot of people also took a lot of supply trucks because it's units that don't shoot back, so it's kind of good to go up against.
See, I wonder if you could figure out a way to maximize, let's say, the supply trucks while minimizing any kind of worthwhile investment. Like you said, The artillery has got to be so good here. We have these smoke-laying mortars, which, again, I've always had an issue with. I mean, called smoke-laying mortars when they have, 8 rounds of smoke. Yeah. But even again, short distances, burst fire over here, really kind of strong if you want to suppress easy kind of infantry positions.
Yeah, I've noticed in a lot of the decks, we've seen a lot of these 15mm mortars being picked as well, because they're not the meta choice, so to speak, but they're still not, bad. Especially when people are taking infantry units that aren't good to begin with. Just having rapid-fire HE cells drop down on you is pretty awesome. Actually, in our first plane of the match, I believe, the Focke-Wulf 189 up north, and recon planes, also not too terrible as well. You can use them to actually recon stuff, because there's not going to be much anti-air.
Well, and then Otto as well, giving the ground attack Ju-88s. 20 mils on these guys. I'm not going to go and make fun of them. They definitely, if nothing else, can stress out these leads, and the longer the game goes, the more potential we have for having an effective anti-tank force.
Yep. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any anti-tank on his infantry, so he can't just run up and blow his leads at the moment, as he only took the regular grenadiers.
No, he didn't take them.
Oh, Protoss did. Yeah. Otto, yeah. This is where it gets confusing. I always keep thinking, they picked the people playing the deck made bad choices, but of course it's the other person who's forced the bad choices upon them.
Indeed. And I mentioned this note in the last replay. Can you think of many German infantry? Can you think of, is it more in German infantry divisions or German divisions overall that have AT-less infantry, or is that happening often in the Russians as well? Because I feel like the Russians, they might be low mobility or low range, but they always seem to have at least some sort of anti-tank presence.
Yeah, because, for example, take an example of Strokies, or Stroky DPs, the 2 regular infantry rifle squads for Russia. It's one of them has an anti-tank grenade, and one of them has an anti-tank rifle. I don't think we're going to be seeing any DP squads, as they're a little bit too good. They got semi-automatic rifles and machine guns. We can't be having that. So, I think we're just going to be, we've seen, right now, we've got NKVD troops being brought in en masse.
The funny thing about this, though, is I feel like there is a certain level of, how do I put this delicately, historical accuracy with how awful some of these divisions are right now. Just because, the German stuff would just beat the shit at this point, of course. So just seeing some of, there's no anti-tank, there's none of this, there's none of that. It's almost representative,
Yeah, it's. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Especially at this point in the war for the Germans, they weren't doing all that great. But the NKVDs are having a hard time just getting even close to these grenadier squads. But there we go. Only took a few casualties, but they're still only NKVD troops. It's a 4-man SMG squad, not not the best thing in the world, which is good for Protozocker in this case.
You know, shockingly, as moving to Phase B, one thing I don't think I've ever noticed with the NKVDs, because we just never see them, is that they don't allow surrender, which of course makes perfect sense if you understand the idea behind them. But I wonder if that actually could be a viable option to bring like an NKVD with like either disheartened troops somehow, or
yes,
like
that's what you're like meant to use them for. But the rest of them
nobody does.
Yeah, they're not like that useful meta-rise, because would you rather take a card of NKVDs or like the German police troops? Or would you just like infantry guns or machine guns that can shoot stuff? It's
Effectively.
problem.
Effectively.
Shoot
Stuff. Yeah, I mean, otherwise we have like, you know, Windtalker levels of stupidity as some guy just kind of shouts and fires a Luger in the vague direction of the enemy.
We got quite a bit of artillery here from Otto von Matik's side. I mean, these mortars are starting to pound away. And we haven't seen any supply tracks. Let's need to take a look at Protoss's deck again. And
he's got them.
Yeah, he's got them in B phase, so he has some, but not a lot. But that's good for Protoss in this case, because that means there shouldn't be too much artillery spam.
That's true, but the big issue here is that now we have every single Stuart in the entire Lend-Lease program is on the field. Literally.
Yeah.
The entire card has been called in the first minute of the Phase B.
Yeah, it's a lot of goddamn Stuarts. And this could be a really scary blob to deal with. I don't believe Otto von Matik's deck, which is what Protoss is playing right now, has too much an array of proper anti-tank. But I mean, the Luxes can do well, and we've got that one FK 2A8 down south, which, you know, can kill a Stuart or two. But with just that many Stuarts, I think you're gonna need a little bit more.
Well, we do have the charge of the Light Brigade over here on the southern hillside, and that one lone Lux is probably kind of wondering why no one's giving him R&R right now.
Yeah, they just rain to crest over the hill here. Once again, all the infantry on the German side, none of them really have any anti-tank, so those Ursa trooping are more than useless.
You know what? I'm just having this moment of like Battle of the Bulge moment. It's like load hyper shot from all the Stuarts basically sacking themselves at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
exactly what it looks like here. Except they're effective.
Yeah, we just got a massive tank rush moving in without any infantry support. This is something that you really shouldn't do usually, but this is a disaster. Really, anything goes.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. And honestly, all those machine guns, that is terrifying as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Stuarts only have only 2 machine guns in this game, which is still pretty good for like a 30-point light tank.
Yep. Yep, and when tanks encourage surrenders, that's when you know things have just gone completely haywire.
So yeah, these Stuarts can pretty much push this entire hill right now. Like, the anti-tank gun is all the way over the air, not in a useful spot at the moment. We've seen more Panther 2 Luxies being brought in, but the German infantry just isn't really cutting it. I mean, you've seen some Sickerungs now, which are a little bit better than Zedstrupen.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a lot of them in that deck. I might be wrong.
I think you get like 15 per card in B phase, so it's an alright number, but it's still not great troops.
I guess the major question here is, can Protoss hold out long enough with Otto's deck to win, or is this the automatic comeback here?
Yeah.
And honestly, hand to God, like, I have no idea. These tanks right now are now technically behind enemy lines with no support. So if you get any kind of freak out, this is going to be devastating.
We got some Avtomachikis coming in to try to, you know, clear up behind the Stuarts, and the Stuarts are just keeping on trucking. Keep on trucking.
They certainly do. 210, this is time to have that 210 start calling an artillery fire, though, too. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet either. But
oh yeah, they got the off map. Completely forgot about that.
We also, I mean, we have these anti-tank guns here and there. Ooh, actually, it's going to be a light tank battle for the ages. 5 Panther Lukes coming around that forest. This could be really super interesting.
I have a feeling the Lukes will probably win. There's autocannons, but we'll see.
They're not firing at the actual tanks.
They don't have line of sight at the moment. They're just barely out of line of sight as they deal with that one PTRS squad. Oh, they're trying to. I think they're trying to like sneak up on the Stuarts by hooking around the forest, and then
it's a little hard to sneak when you make so much miles away, but yeah, that's definitely possible.
I like this one, all clear squad behind enemy lines here. Just right by the church. Perfect
Yeah.
location. And all the off maps coming in. Gonna be clearing out.
Oh, wait, 3 of those stewards are down too.
Yep.
And that's a 210, so that can get kills and get them rather effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And ooh, even more so. Now we have the Panzerbische engaging in a Sicherung, so this could be the death of the stewards. Again, this is it's so interesting to see the kind of bizarre potential of these. One goes down.
Yeah. We're seeing goddamn Panzerbeuters actually being used. This is something you never really see because they're arguably the worst anti-tank rifle in the game. They're only 5 points, to be fair, so you get what you get, but still, but this is what I like so much is even though they're using bad units, they still have somewhat of a purpose. They're not terrible because everything's terrible.
That's true, but no, that's true. I'm sorry. I'm watching the one steward engage one Lux, and I'm pretty sure the Lux is going to run out of ammo before he even hits the stinking steward.
Mm-hmm. You got that 180 gun picking off Lux's run out of time because they're out in the open. Come on, just one of you go around the corner. We want to see lots of death and destruction, not sequential death and destruction.
Yeah, exactly. But 16-8. I mean, we're still barely creeping towards a Protoss victory.
Yeah, I feel like Protoss just has... He definitely has more infantry, it feels like. And he has like more regular rifle squad trial. Otto von Matic is playing really just CQC dudes, which are cool, but, you know, they're only good in 100-meter engagement distances. Up north, those stewards, they're completely surrounded. They're being shot at by all these Panzerbeuters in the butt. Oh, that's not a good thing for General Stewart, yeah.
No, sir. Although one of those looks that just went down, I guess that was probably the M3 lead that engaged him. Yeah, it had to have been. Just, I thought for half a second somehow some German equipment had shot and it pinged off or it missed. Like, I've never seen a friendly fire incident, so I was super confused.
Mm-hmm. We got JU-88 up north, still trying to strafe out General Lee, but he's holding strong. At Lee might as well just be a Tiger tank, honestly. With his sort of like anti-armor capabilities, he's pretty strong.
Yeah, it certainly seems like kind of like that mythical KV-1 of, oh my gosh, they just did a video on this battle.
I know what you're talking about, the one that held the bridge against like that entire German force, or they always like change the size of the German force, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I definitely wanted Resenile? Close enough. In any particular case, though, a couple of final M5Ls to the north, but down south, I mean, the situation is completely stabilized, which is just so bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, equally bizarre that the front line's not moved with any of these ultimate cheekies.
Yeah. I think it's probably because South Trooper is like northeast of him. It's kind of blocking the front line here. It's just not enough substance in that case, but yeah, I think we're really starting to see Russian decks just taking a lot of these CQC ultimate cheekies is a good way to make a bad deck because it's so limited.
Well, CQC with really slow transports as well. I mean, if I want to get a, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but if I can put a jet in there, or rather a jeep rather, and sprint to the front lines, that's fantastic. But if I have to go at 30 kilometers an hour,
look up north, we got a bunch of Sun Pioneers being brought in RSOs. I'm so happy people figured out to take bad transport units, because it's something that you sometimes overlook, but with a lot of these divisions, really terrible transports you can take, and we are seeing them in action, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's why I take the RSOs for all your artillery, because it doesn't matter how long it takes for your artillery down the field, because usually they can hit the entire map. So
yep. Usually you only have to go like a couple 100 meters and the artillery's already in position. But these Stern Pioneers, they're not going to be Sturming very fast.
It does seem unlikely, to say the least.
Yep. But I feel like, Protoss is definitely going to be taking this victory. He just has enough, of the substantial frontline units. And that's a testament to how bad Protoss has built his deck. Yeah, he's fight against.
Again, you have to tilt your hat to him a little bit. As we go to the last few seconds here, shockingly enough, I don't think that Focke-Wulf 189s, I don't think I've seen them really use them to do. I was gonna say true recon, but
Yeah. It's a plane you don't see often, which is kind of sad because they're pretty, like, historically prevalent on the Eastern Front. Yeah,
Krasnov, the M3 Lee.
Oh, yep. Look at him. They, like you said, like the KV-1 Rasol. I can't say the name. Killing
That's
all
okay.
those.
I can't do it either.
All those Luxes. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like I've never seen an M3 Lee perform this good con.
Or he could almost take out four Stewarts himself, Eppensteiner. So well done, well done.
Yeah.
Generally, it's nice to see some standouts here and there. It's especially nice to see that General Lee is not just a I'll leave the rest of that sentence unsaid.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's a pretty good one.
Indeed. So, Rank, do you remember who's next or no?
No. We're just kind of picking replays from random. So we're gonna go to a intermission, and we'll see you guys for the next replay. And we are back once again on, of course, Awesome North, because this is where all the first round replays are being played. And as you can see, we have Vincent versus Right Eagle. Here's Vincent's deck on the screen. What do you think, Khan?
Interestingly, Vincent's deck is a Bazooka Go. I mean, it could be worse. Like, I'll tell you right now that the tank situation is definitely worse over here for his opponent's deck than for this first one here. I'm kind of happy to see Andrayushas, even though this is only a single one. It's not until phase B.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll ruin the mystery for you right now. The PTRS game will be much stronger with his opponent's deck. Let's put it that way.
I do like how he has Oil's command leaders and spotters, all for that single Andrayusha. They're all supporting him. And I'll pull up Right Eagle's deck now, and that's a lot of anti-tank.
Yep. Well, it's because he doesn't have any own. There's no tanks for him to use for himself. There's no like tank on tank action here.
Yeah. And all that supply truck, he's gonna be like swimming in supply once B phase hits, but not a minute before. For all that artillery that he has, once again, like a single artillery unit which doesn't even need supplies because it's off map. But
certainly true.
Get into the game here. The opener's going pretty well for Right Eagle. It's Russ and Hill of, NKVD troops because they have a reasonably fast transport.
Wait a second. There's this Yak 1B who might reap a fearful tally over here in the north. Oh my, in the south. He's got one kill already.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna go for a second one. Oh my gosh. He's not gonna get to the cluster bombers in time.
Thank God fighters are fixed.
He's got 3 kills.
Can he get
instant ace? Come on. Shulsky, you can do it. Oh no, he's brought another guy to steal a kill? Oh, that's not fair.
No, you gotta like spread it. You gotta hog it. There we go.
That's 4.
Oh, he only has like 25 cannon shots left.
Oh man, he could have done it. Oh wait, there's still one more in the south.
You can reach it first before the other kill stealer comes in. But is he going to?
No. Please, I want to see an instant ace. Gabreski needs to have some fun here. He needs to have a friend or two. Whatever. In the meantime, we do see that we have the NKVD troops, supported by Dushkas and a hefty amount of automatic weapons fire, have been able to seize part of, I would say, this actual hillside. I mean, for how long, I couldn't tell you.
The Dushka's doing its damnedest to try to shoot down a single biplane. This really speaks volumes of the effectiveness of Dushka trucks. Oh, here comes the plane. He's
got 40. He's got no ammunition left.
No!
Okay, if he hadn't strafed the ground target, he would have killed him instantly.
He got the assist. And he only has like 20 shots left. So he's not getting that instant ace, unfortunately. And we're just seeing a lot of like small teams fight against each other, like down south. Recon on recon action.
Yeah, it's kind of like that paintball of death. When you're like, you have like those 2 friends back in like secondary school, and you're like, oh man, let's go out and fight. But like, this is small potatoes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, remember, actually looking at this, there's a couple of superior squads over here from Vincent's deck. So White Eagle's going to have a couple of superiors. But even then, like, I don't think any squad on either side is more than half a dozen guys.
This is all very like small potato stuff, like you said. Apart from like the leaders and a few recon units, we got like a cavalry Konya Redevka. I don't know the actual translation, but that's an 11-man squad. They're massive in this scenario. And we got that Strafniki Comrade, which is also arguably a really good squad here. They got SVTs and satchel charges. That's might as well be like King's Gold in this matchup.
But looking and seeing how things are developing, this is probably the most even start we've had over the entire time, and I don't know if that's because the decks are equally bad or equally good. Like, I don't know how to call it. It's one of those weird things that's going on here.
Yeah, it's going pretty even Steven. Maybe it's because it's like a Russian on Russian, and they're both group decks. So we've got some group on group action here. I do like up north where he's Peter S's. I think he accidentally unloaded him too soon. Oh no, he's unloading him into a defensive position because he's trying to stop that T-34. And it does actually have a foul sneaky squad. That's somewhat, pleasant. I mean, he got a Faust betrayal and a machine gun. Real quality anti-tank here.
Hey, say what you want to, but that Faust Patron's got 90% accuracy, okay?
He's got 12 shots of... That's actually a ridiculous amount of
Yeah.
ammunition.
Yes, it is.
That's like every guy has to carry 3 of them. That must not be fun. And one guy also has to carry a machine gun. That's a lot of Faustin to be patroning about.
Well, you know, it's not a party until you have Patron, so...
Indeed, Khan, indeed.
Now, down to the south, of course, you still have these T-34 Combrotis, which is just hysterical to me, because normally we'd see a single tank and think to yourself, oh my gosh, is he trying to commit suicide?
Mm-hmm.
Except now.
No. In this case, Russian tanks up unsupported is probably the best course of action.
Indeed, I mean, the only thing the NKVD can do is, like, threaten to kill his family.
Yeah.
That got really dark for a second for all the viewers out there, and I'm really sorry if it did.
I mean, that was like, you know, Soviet purchase, all of that. It's pretty true. It's pretty true.
Yeah, you know, they say the best jokes have, you know, rooted in truth.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have a couple of light fights going on here. The T-34 76 1942 is engaged in the Komrati to the north. It's got actually a stuck turret. And I'm a little concerned why the Faustniki is wasting its time engaging the anti-tank gun when really he needs to be going after that tank. And unfortunately his Fausts got Niki'd.
Yeah. Are we seeing an anti-tank plane there? This is some high quality shit right here. PE2 coming in. Is he going to get strafing off? Nope. He's picking another target, it seems.
Or he lost sight, which either way is kind of surprising to me, I suppose.
It is.
Down to the south, though, another Faustniki squad is actually kicking the pants off the Superiors.
Mm-hmm.
At least until this Dushka comes up. Or rather, not Dushka, but, you know...
Maxim.
It's
a machine gun truck.
Discount ZSU.
Yeah. This is actually, like, pretty good fire support, because it is, you know, it's 4 machine guns. That's a rather nasty amount of DACA.
Oh, wait, and we have a charge over here for this Tanko Komroti, so the Tanko Desantniki... The difference between the Faustniki and the Tanko Desantniki. The Faustniki's got 12 Faust Patron. The Tanko Desantniki has 12 grenades.
Yeah, and a sniper. I've never realized that. I never noticed I had a sniper before. That's really interesting.
Again, it's just because it's like the Soviets created this material by committee, and they're like, you know what? We need to have distance off-map support. Oh, okay, sniper, cool. But we want AT just in case they get close. Like, why would you be close enough to need both of those at the same time? I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, we're gonna need like 12 of them, okay? We're gonna be facing off against an entire like Panzer company. We need these grenades, man.
Well, I forget what book it is. This is like stirring moment where it's like these guys are going to take out tanks, and it's like, well, how do you do it? Well, we give one guy mining charges and we send him out a tank. How many tanks have you taken out? 12. How many men does it cost you? 12. And you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, some of those early anti-tank tactics were scary. Like, I think one of the things Germans would do in like the early war period is they would get like anti-tank mines and stick them on sticks and then try to like throw them underneath the tank.
No,
it's like pizza delivery.
The Japanese did with bamboo spears with anti-tank mines, and they were like, we know you're going to die. Stick him in the treads. You're not even killing the tank. You're just making it not go for a bit.
Yeah, and the Finns just use like pieces of wood.
and Molotov cocktails.
I think the Molotovs probably did a little bit more on the wood, but the wood would get the infantry close enough.
Yeah.
Stick them in the tracks.
Yeah, and you know what? And it was kind of funny because eventually these anti-tank detachments who would do it, they were like, "Oh, you really want to do this?" And like, yeah, endless volunteers. Like, I have no idea how. I would never do that.
No,
I'm sorry.
That'd be really, really scary.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god, the northern side is actually developing pretty well here for Right Eagle. Just all these, you know, minuscule squads fighting all throughout against these other minuscule squads, and we got KV-1Ss. Once again, his tank might as well be like a King Tiger in this sort of matchup.
Well, I guess the thing I'm trying to figure out to a certain extent is that are all of these squads kind of mutually supporting each other to a certain extent? I mean, like, 'cause we have just PPSHs or PPSs. Yeah. I mean, we're not talking about mid-range fire. It's all knife fighting.
Yeah. I feel like it's just he has enough tank support to help out the CQC squads to actually allow him to get in close here. And also because he's fighting against other CQC squads in this case. I mean, just the infantry choices here from both sides is god-awful. So well done, chaps. You're really embracing the heart of this tournament. Like, I haven't seen like a single Strelki, a single Avtomachiki, a single like Sapori. We're just seeing everything else apart from the things that you should pick.
Well, the Konaya Razvedkas, yeah.
Yeah.
12-man recon squad, which is surprisingly good, well equipped. I mean, under the circumstances, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And we're seeing like for the first time, like leader units are actually having to like lead from the front, you know, because they're like the only frontline infantry. They actually have to get off their asses and like fight.
Well, the thing I actually kind of love too is that if you look at a lot of the decks for today, we actually see V for victory income slams. So like they're playing the long game too. Like, okay, we'll give you a nice strong A phase technically, but then we're gonna nerf you for B. So if we can't get the win in by B phase, game's over.
Yeah, I've seen like I haven't really seen many balanced incomes. Most people either pick like Vanguard or like usually like Juggernaut income actually the most because you get like the least amount in A phase. And then yes, you have that C phase income, but people make sure that the deck doesn't have many C phase units, so it's pretty much worthless. It's really interesting seeing how people have built these decks around. Like some people will take like a deck and give it lots of supply trucks, like I said before, which is useless because you don't have any artillery. Or other people will take lots of artillery and then no supply trucks. So, yes,
I love Vincent's support tab though. It's NKVDs, combat, 2 M2 combat trucks. Sorry, 1 M2 combat truck. So technically he's got a leader thing here, but like everything else there has absolutely no purpose whatsoever.
These guys aren't going to have to share rifles. Got enough ammunition.
This is the one time when there's enough Russians for having rifles and enough rifles for having Russians. Like there's no like, enemy at the gates, mythos going on
Odd
here.
one. Yeah, I feel like Right Eagle's pretty clearly got this. He's managing to make a good foothold down south. So C-34s and KVs have really been helping him out a lot, while Right Eagle's deck that he built, which is what Vincent is playing, really only has, I don't think it has any like a proper heavy AT, if I recall. It only has,
I don't think so.
Yeah, it only has 45 mils on the PTRSs.
It's inhumanly impossible for this to have happened, yeah.
But hey, look, we got like, 8 PTRSs coming in the mid. They're really gonna help out.
Nobody.
No. And also the airplanes have been pretty generous. I mean, the Akron Bs, there's A-20 Boston's flying around that see given good recon support. Like, recon planes are really good in this tournament because there's no anti-air. Or any good anti-air.
I just realized that the secret to putting in all these, shite anti-tank materials is that if I'm looking at this here, anti-tank doesn't shift the front line in the first place, so all you're trying to do for the infantry is take the smallest squads and the AT squads, so that way there's no frontline control. Oh my gosh, they're brilliant bastards.
It's dastardly. It's terrible. You shouldn't be able to do this, but we're allowing it.
I didn't make the rules, man. This is all you.
It's all my fault. Yeah. Like I said, guys, this isn't a balanced tournament by any stretch of the imagination.
Wait, we actually have 2 T-34s to the north that technically could take out the KV. Probably won't, but technically this could work.
Yeah. Could, I mean, just overwhelming fire support. Heck, we got like these Sturmovikis are really good. This is probably a little bit too nice for Right Eagle to give. Like, 2-man flamethrower. I mean, double barreled, but 2 flamethrowers.
Wait, E2 making a rocket run. This is gonna be terrible. Yep.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
But the Sturmovikis, though, they got unloaded as soon as they got onto the map. So I don't know if that was just a mishit or what that was, like a keystroke error. But you're right; these are awesome, but they have to get super ridiculously close.
Yeah.
And the second they get to the edge of that forest, who cares? Because they're going to get shreked by anything that's even remotely close to it.
That KV-1 is just holding down the fort here. I mean, he's getting hit by AT rifles. He doesn't care. T-34 doesn't care. He's a goddamn KV.
It certainly is. Now, the anti-tanks to the north, yeah, those are going to have some issues here. But, yeah, whatever. Not really a big concern here. And down to the south, pretty much every bit of material that Vincent's got is now behind enemy lines.
Yeah, just not enough frontline support here. to really do anything effective. And just the air power on Right Eagle's side is really quite scary. Even though he's just like Yakron Bees with only like 2 guns, it's not bad in a matchup like this.
Well, the 20 mil. I mean, we're basically looking at those the same way you would see the the GAO Focke-Wulf.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a gun and the other guy has no gun, that still is effective.
Yep. And I think Vincent's gonna lose very shortly. I guess no way he's coming back from this, but yeah, pretty good match though. Pretty good match. I mean, he did hold pretty well for a decent amount of time, but it's just too much. Like, Vincent was too nice with his deck. He needed to make it worse.
Well, and that's the thing I'm feeling kind of bad about, is that we have people like Vincent and Curves who are, just that killer instinct to just really, really stick it to their opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Man, my hat's off to him from the gentleman side.
KD.
But yikes.
Yeah, yikes indeed. Yeah.
What do you expect? I mean, again, Shulsky got 4 kills, 4 air kills, and 2 ground kills. Not surprising. Strofniki Komroti's got another 5 or 6 kills right there. I mean,
yeah, T-34 is doing pretty good. KV1 holding his lot. And losses.
What did he have? He didn't have to shoot anything.
There's nothing that could kill him.
Oh. So, but you know what? Again, that's this tournament's all about.
Yeah,
so.
It's terrible match. So good job, guys. Good job indeed. Anything else to say about this one?
There's more of this garbage coming your way?
Yeah, there's more garbage coming up, so stay tuned, and we'll see you after this intermission. And we are back for another, hopefully, really terrible match. We got Green HD versus Solar Ring Pixie. And this is Green HD's deck. What are your thoughts, Khan?
So Green HD's deck, I mean, I have a soft spot for the Hungarians just because, they're such an underrepresented group overall here. I'm kind of mildly amused by the tank tab again. We have 2 tanks in the beginning, we have 16 coming right after that. I mean, from a air perspective, the same kind of garbage you want to see. Anti-air, nothing too shocking there. The support tab is shockingly enough, like I want to hate it, but I can't help but love it, you know?
Yeah. It's all those support trucks are definitely going to be helping out right at the end of the match. But yeah, well, it's... Go ahead, sorry.
No, please, by all means.
It's bad. It's bad.
Well, and honestly, looking at it from Solar Wing Pixie, I mean, we have Turinia. Like, what's going on with that deck?
Oh, pull it up. It's anti-tank gun heavy in C-phase once again. Both sides got those C-phase spam cards. Not much in terms of artillery or airplanes. It's
Forgive me, wait, I have to stop you for a second. We have the BMW 750 anti-tank rifle bikes. I didn't even pay attention to this. This is so amazing. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
This to me is like someone took one of those the Piat launchers from SD44 and decided to put them in this. Oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah. The Hungarian Shrove Tartlek was obviously a pretty popular choice for making a bad division because they're already really bad. The anti-tank's bad, the infantry's there, yeah, power's there. So, yeah, we're going to be seeing them a lot, but they do have decent spam capabilities, to be fair.
You know, I want to agree with the whole idea that the infantry's bad, but, I mean, I do, again, have a soft spot for the Loviches, or however the heck you say that. I mean, they're a decent squad, all things considered. I mean, compared to a lot of material.
This is like some proper infantry compared to last match. I mean, we got Aftermachikis being brought in. We got proper infantry squads here.
There's so many freaking machine guns. 18 machine guns in Phase A over here.
Curbs in chat, Khan just said he has a Tartalek deck he's going to be using for the next Steel Division League, so...
I am... Curbs, thank you, man. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it already.
Same here. Tartalek is a really bad division. I'd like to see it be played in a proper way. We actually have some like heavy AA guns being brought in early on as well. Those 80 mils. It can be pretty scary.
They can be, but again, I know we talked this to death in the normal replays. Fighters got fixed, great. Anti-air at the same time, though, I feel like the anti-air took a big step backwards, and I don't know how to kind of balance everything appropriately. So, I mean, people smarter than me definitely can go after that. I'd like to see these heavier caliber anti-air pieces get maybe a touch more suppression.
Mm-hmm.
Just a touch, because otherwise they're there to be anti-tank pieces, which I get, historically. But in game, they should still be able to fulfill their initial role, you know?
We've got the Messerschmitt here. 2 machine guns. Can he shoot down his biplane, though?
I should certainly hope so.
Yep.
I mean, geez, it happened to Indiana Jones.
At least Solar Ring has a lot of infantry machine guns early on and mortars, so he's got some pretty good long-range infantry firepower. And his tank tab's not too bad. I mean, with Tartalek, you only have literally 2 tank choices. Mm-hmm. You got the S-35s and then the Hotchkiss tanks afterwards. And they're not bad. They're not that bad. I mean, against T-34s, they're probably going to lose, but we'll have to see. Maybe they can just win you to sheer numbers.
Yeah, I imagine if you smother people, that will kill them eventually, but that's not really usually the driving goal of most, military actions.
Mm-hmm.
Not really the zombie wave assault. Meanwhile, though, actually, you know what? I wonder if the BMWs, the anti-tank rifle ones, might be able to... I think maybe they could go and penetrate, but it would take like side shots or rear shots.
Yeah, it would definitely be a side shot thing. We just got like the machine gun runs being brought in. Once again, we're seeing goddamn recon motorbikes being brought in. Not a common sight, that's for sure.
That's certainly true. I mean, you definitely want to be able to get into those trees. That's the unfortunate thing. Mm-hmm. Mobility, unparalleled, but their lack of just sustained presence overall, it's so much of a liability. Ultimate cheekies, though. Jeez, I said it before, say it again. The Soviet infantry, even when you try to screw them, they're still good at something.
Yeah, they're still not bad, because even the bad ones are like specialists, so like they have a purpose somewhere. Well, the German really bad infantry, or Hungarian in this case, like Einsatztruppen, they're just bad. They're just not good. Or like stormtroop, like 5-man stormtrooper squads. They're the same thing, but only 5-man.
You know, this Pac 97 over here down south. It's a 75mm cannon, but somehow the heat shells just ping off the front armor.
Yeah, this is.
Ugh.
It's one of the worst anti-tank guns in the game. Like, it's not. It is not good at all.
It just
I think it's like a. I think it's like an old like
it's
19th century cannon.
It is. It's an interwar period. It's an interwar period. Yeah, it was late World War One. It's an interwar period cannon. It's dog shit though. Oh my god.
Which is good for Green HD in this case. He's built a pretty bad deck.
Again, you can't help but just be impressed by it, and at the same time, just it's so painful. Oh man.
But just like the huge infantry rush across the open here, World War One style. I think if he can, suppress that U-34 a little bit more, he might get to the town, which would be a pretty huge boon.
And, excuse me, 1 second. Excuse me, I was going to go and actually make a rather pithy comment, and then sneezing just happened to steal it away from me. Absolutely right. Getting over this open ground, though, yes, if they get past the tank, quote-unquote, the bunker, it'd be great to get into that town, but now we get Dushkas coming in, too, and this is actually an arena where Dushkas could be worthwhile.
Yeah.
Especially considering the rather minuscule mortars that kind of exist over on the Hungarian deck.
Yeah, I think we've seen some off-map down south, pinning down the last of the Hungarians hidden in that farm. So that should pretty much clear things out for Green HC, and if he can push a little bit further, he can cap that entire southern hill, which would be a pretty huge boon.
It certainly would be, but right now he's shelling his own troops. But you know what they say. The death of one man is a tragedy. Death of millions is a statistic. Actually, I would be remiss if I didn't say this. Folks, last time I checked, I think we're up to like 45 or 48 people watching the stream right now. Thank you so much for making this entire tournament a success. I know there's like 15 or 16 people that have checked in already. It's been really some great games so far and plenty more to come.
Yeah.
But a big thank you to you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a type of tournament style that I did this in SC44 and it was a lot of fun, so I'm very happy to be able to do it again. And a big shout out to POK as well. He's the one behind the scenes at the moment, trying to get everyone organised and actually getting these matches played, so thanks again.
Indeed. Now, I just want to take a quick look to the north to see if there's anything really worthwhile going on there. Unfortunately, the funniest that's going on here is we have the artillery observer coming forward and a Hansa Lloyd. Which I don't know if that was like a captured Lend-Lease or what that is.
I think it's just some crappy Hungarian self-made half-track thing, because it looks bad. The Hungarians have some pretty terrible transport, so they are a good choice in this matchup.
I have to find out. Forgive me. I have to take a proper look. Oh, no.
I think Hans is like a German company.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Jeez.
And Lloyd's a British company as well, so
that's
it must be
confused, you know?
Must be like some like 20s or 30 interwar thing between both.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is it's a lot of German material, but it looks like it was a matchup between the two companies. If anyone out there in chat wants to run down some information for us, it'd be fantastic. But looking down to the south again, I mean, that T-34 Komrodzi, he's just kind of chilling there. The Hungarians did make it across the open ground, but they're like shattered.
Yeah.
Completely shattered.
The Discom's coming in, and yeah, off-map artillery has been doing pretty good so far in these few matches. Like, yes, you only get him in A phase, but you can make him really count in A phase if you put them in the right spot. And
well, they fulfill a role that's almost there as being a light tank. I mean,
yeah,
if you squint really hard and have a couple drinks. But as you can see right now, there's no more Hungarian presence between them and that hillside. And what's on the hillside? Well, a couple of rinky-dink knee mortars, and that's about it.
Yeah, I think we're going to wait till B phase for more anti-tank gun reinforcements to be brought in. And once again, I believe the anti-tank for the Hungarian deck is, it's only like some pack
The 40 mils.
36s. Or, yeah, the 37 mils thing in B phase, which is not good.
No.
40 mils, yeah, my bad.
Yep, there we are at phase B right about now too. So actually, I don't. This is no, it's in C phase. Oof. I was gonna say I thought we were going to see some airplanes over here from Solo Wing Pixie, but he does not get the MA210s, those ground attack craft, really, until C phase. He gets 8 of them then, but that is a really, really great way to shaft your opponent too.
You have to wait so long, and usually, one thing in a lot of these matches are really decided in the first 20 minutes. They should prolong, because a lot of people don't take a lot of C-phase units to begin with. But if C-phase does hit, those JR-88s will be pretty scary with just the amount of strafe and firepower, and also with the Juggernaut income.
Well, exactly. I mean, if you can buy 2 and most of a third one, actually no, you buy 3. Jeez.
Someone in chat responded about the Hanja Lloyd. Apparently, it's just a Hungarian-made SDK of Set 11.
Oh, okay. Don't know who that was, but thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
It's Rooster.
Rooster, thank you so much, sir. I know every now and again we bring up some dubious information in our cast. I always try to be as inaccurate as possible, so I always appreciate when you guys kind of call me out. Thank you. I appreciate that, Rooster. Superior is being brought on in over here from Green HD. I don't have his deck up. How does that really work over here for Tarania?
Not good. Not good. I mean, the anti-tank is runs B phase hits. He's got like a few Sis-3s, and then it's just like anti-tank rifles throughout the rest of it. And I like anti-tank rifles as much as the next guy. I don't know how much you guys like anti-tank rifles, but I'm gonna be good against this many tanks. And the Hungarian tanks, those H-35s aren't terrible armorize.
Yeah, but if you have to, preface your information by saying it's not terrible, or when I'm asking you a question, you start to immediately laugh, I know it's not going to be a pretty sight.
Yeah, it's just going to come down to numbers, I think. And like we've seen like previous matches, having those anti-tank rifles, they don't really do much frontline presence, which hurts you quite a bit when this game is all about holding the front line. But still a trove. It's pretty neck on neck still.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Oh. Ryan, as we continue to watch these horrible, horrible games go on, I never thought that it would get this far. I never really did, man. I thought that, you and I first started talking a little bit, we get a couple casts out, people would be like, oh my god, they're complete shite, and then like, that'd be it. But man alive, this has been a great ride so far.
In like what? 3 years since we've done this? Almost? It's a long time with co-casting. It's much better than just like doing solo casting. It's more entertaining. I don't have to talk all the time, which is good. Yeah,
exactly. I get to have a drink every now and again. Yeah. I actually have a voice.
Yeah, people can understand you, and then when I talk, you're like, "What the hell's going on?" But then you just explain what I say.
I won't lie. I had someone the other day put up on one of the posts. Was like, "Do you do solo stuff?" Because it's really hard to hear his accent. And I'm sorry, I read it and I was
like, is he speaking in tongues?
He's Canadian. He's not Welsh. A big apology to our Welsh fans out there, but at the same time, if you are Welsh, I'm sorry, I cannot understand you.
I can't really understand them either.
No, but I had to let you know that. But in the meantime, of course, we are actually going to get a couple of those H-39s coming on in, and this almost reminds me of those captured French tanks.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Really?
Yeah, they're the Hotchkiss 39s.
I didn't realize that.
From good old SD-44.
Oh my god. Huh. Well, I will say, I do know that they've announced that we are bringing in those Western divisions. I don't know if it's safe to say whether or not we are going to see those French tanks, but it would be really, really nice to see some more captured material being brought over here against the Russians.
Yes. I mean, we're definitely seeing Trove SS. And as we know from SD-44, they do have that Boita Firefly, so get to see some captured, uncaptured action. Because that's always the fun part of seeing captured tanks, because it just makes you confused on what side is really fighting.
Also, I do have to say, Curbs, yes, Welsh is a language of beauty, but at the same time, it's really, really rough to understand if they're going with the very thick accent.
And you have Scottish.
Yeah, that's also true. There's a lot of really rough accents out there, and don't get me wrong, every language has its beautiful moments. Like I get crazy when people are like, German is such an ugly language. No, man, it's a beautiful language. You just hear like all the war speeches, and that's harsh.
Granata!
Exactly. If I
Adon
bang on a podium in French, you'll get upset too. Oh man. But there we go. I mean, down to the south, actually, interestingly enough, we had a little bit of hand-to-hand action here as the Hungarians came in to fight off some rather aggressive Superiors.
Mm-hmm. It's actually like pretty nice infantry choices to give your. Oh, only the PPS-8s. My bad. So that's actually a really terrible infantry choice, which is still good.
Oh man, alive.
Yeah, we're just seeing. I've just seen all these Maxim machine guns being brought in. Like, hello, yep, is this World War One? They want their machine guns back.
Yeah, but say what you want to, but they are at least. It's putting out some firepower, and if nothing else, that might freak out your opponent to be like, okay, there's troops there. I have to at least take it slow. It's much easier to hold ground if at least you have a vague presence.
Yeah, and also, to be fair, like, I've seen a lot of these Russian divisions, it's all CQC troops, so these machine guns can just kind of shoot up, yes, CQC guys, without being shot at back. Like I haven't seen any Strokies or Strokey DPs yet, because they're too good, and we can't be having that.
Of course not. Of course not. Why would you want to have something really good here? You don't want to give your opponent ammunition to work with.
Oh.
Like right now, Logistics coming in over here. We are into Phase B. And we have Hungarian heavy infantry coming in.
Oh. And then heavy. I think it was a heavy recon troops as well. I might be wrong. I can check it. I got
the Federato Genitors. I think so.
No, I think it's small. I think it's small. But we'll see once they jump out the tracks. They like to hide your numbers.
Just like the Sand People.
They're walking single file. They're driving single file.
They hide their numbers and to make a better target for cluster bombers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, whoa. Hey. That 80 mil anti-aircraft gun was able to take out a biplane.
Oh.
Forget everything I said. I mean...
There we go. Did something.
True.
As he was anti-air, you said shocking.
Oh, man.
The Hungarians, like, it's still pretty neck on neck, but I feel like Solo has the momentum advantage, because as we see, if you just, like, zoom out, he's slowly just pushing everywhere with his, like, horde of machine gun troops. And this horde of leaders down south, there we go. Just leading from the front here, guys. I mean, if all of them are leaders, which one is actually, like, the true leader?
The man who's not on the field. He outranks everyone else.
Yeah.
But the Federato Jarours. I know, actually, by the way, that I'm not even remotely saying that correctly. Please forgive me. So many accents there. But like you said, kind of funny to me to see all those heavy machine guns. Still worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
They take up space, man.
Yeah, they're not doing that. They're bad. Like, I was, like, probably a little bit too nice of a choice.
The two guys to the MP40s.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Not the best choice, but that's the point. Good is bad and bad is good.
The mildly amusing thing about this is that these guys are like, you know what? They drove a truck in front of these Automachikis. Now they leapt out, and it's kind of like, where did they go? I don't see them anymore.
And this is the problem with taking CQC troops. They only have 100-meter range.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they cannot do half of this pray and spray. All they can do is pray.
Mm-hmm. I have a feeling Solo's going to be taking a victory here. There's just not much on the field here from Green HD at the moment. And once we hit C phase, what is he going to get? Anti-tank rifle teams? Yay.
Well, and that's when the ME210s. You haven't seen the JU-88s, but the ME210s are going to come in, and those guys are just going to strafe everything that moves, and even things that don't move.
Mm-hmm.
Amusing to see a couple of ZIS-3s on the field, and yeah, they're definitely worthwhile, but not when you have a single gun battery. You need something a bit greater than that.
Yep. And taking this, I don't know what's the worst choice to take in general. ZIS-3s or 45 mils, because the ZIS-3s you get less of, but they are more powerful. But it's kind of like overkill powerful, where the 45 mils you get more of them, but they're weaker. But you can't kill with like more heavily armored tanks. At the same time, though, there's not many heavily armored tanks, so it's really quite a choice of which poison do you want to pick.
If dollars to donuts, I would take the 45 mil.
Yeah.
Because at that point, at least if you give your opponent the ZIS-3, considering how many supply trucks are on so many decks here, it does have that indirect fire capability.
Oh yes. Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit too good, you know. You can't be having that. And here comes the Ju-88s, and they're angry. They're angry.
ME-210s.
Or ME-210s.
Sorry, that was just like the Ju-88s. I think to a certain degree, the ME-210s might actually have a little bit more staying power, verifying if there were enemy planes, but it's the same style. You're absolutely right.
No, yeah, it's big German plane. Yeah, huge stuff.
True. Now, I really kind of wish we would see a Dornier coming up. I know that's not really a plane that gets seen in many divisions in the first place. But I would love to see a Dornier come through. Oh wait, Sturmoviki's coming in.
Oh, that's a nice choice. Actually, no, that's a pretty bad choice actually, because what a lot of people do Sturmovikis is not turn off the machine gun, so they only shoot with a machine gun, even though they're like a full-on SMG squad. But hey, maybe a little bit of range compared to all his other troops might actually help out.
Well, maybe he's got some ground, base of fire here, because right now, Solo Wing Pixie, yep, it's 17-7. It ain't gonna get prettier before it gets worse.
Yeah, we've got the Semperies down south, pushing through and capping ground.
I think capping ground, it might be a little bit, maybe getting put in the ground, yes. The 2GS Tits coming in behind, which is kind of weird. I mean, artillery spotters essentially here. And this might be the only time that we ever see a Superior squad chase off a Lovisha squad. Just because he outnumbers him 4-1.
He's got the leader support backing him up, and that 140 mil. And nice thing with the Hungarian, light AT guns is actually have some HE cells, so they can help out a wee bit.
Ooh. T-3476 goes down to the north. I'm not sure what the heck did that, but something killed it. And even though a couple of these extremely light, fragile biplanes hanging on through, yep, ME-210's going to come in, and it'll be a burst of fire, and then a flaming wreck. Poof. Yikes.
Yeah, I think...
But, yes, sir.
No, just like... Green hates these, like, sea-phase parts. It's too nice. It's too good. Like, Messerschmitt's 210s are being a real pain in the arse now, and there's no anti-air to really do anything about it.
True. Yes, the biggest area where he might have any kind of backup... Oh, never mind. We have 6 H-39s being brought into the south, and even if some of the infantry dies, supporting it, the H-39s should be able to keep things under control. In the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, if it bleeds, we can kill it. And not for nothing, but the infantry down there does bleed. Yeah,
they bleed pretty hard. They don't have armor. Well, actually, I think some VQs actually might have body armor on there. Oh, they literally do have body armor. Out of all the infantry squads to pick, Sturmovikis are the only ones that have infantry armor.
Well, you know what? They're the only ones whose lives matter. Maybe not.
Because they gotta get close.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they're not those serfs, so we might as well give them something.
Yeah. Right now, like the problem with Sturmovikis, of course, is like the machine gun just kind of just makes them spotted. Because right now, all they're doing is
oh my god! I'm sorry. The 40 mil. The 40 mil's engaging. Oh my god! The 40 mil takes out the T-34 in one shot. And then recites. That was beautiful. I'm sorry. That's like the one moment in every Call of Duty tank mission where it's like, the leader, we're going forward, and then gets nuked immediately.
Like the position, like using those missions where you like tow to man like an anti-tank gun or whatnot, and then just becomes like a shooting gallery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like in COD 2 when you like get on the 88 in that like North Africa mission.
You had an 88 in that one?
Yeah, I think it was like you had to do like a night or so, and you end up like capturing this German position, and the Germans counterattack, and you like jump in on an 88 gun, and you like blow up a bunch of like Panzer IIs.
Huh? It has been a hot minute. The only one I can think of is having McGregor calling in artillery strikes when you take a town.
Look at the KD.
Oh yeah, the KD is obscene.
That is nasty. just looking at the kills is disgusting. Losses.
Oh, we have an instant ace.
Oh, the
Now,
Magic.
to be fair, he took out 5 biplanes, so he really didn't do much. And then, and Benyo over here. Dude, Benyo is honoring his people. Thank you so much, Benyo, for showing up. Nice.
Yeah, and Papai also doing pretty good. I hope I said that correctly. Probably not, but yeah, the Tarlac actually was pretty good. Like, for being a bad division, they're not bad.
But and that's the thing though too, is that you look at the Tartalek division, and yeah, it's not a top tier division, but it's not, terrible.
When everything's brought down to Tartalek level, it's like so bad that it becomes good.
Yes.
Because the infantry is like okay, but you don't have too many terrible infantry options. The anti-tank gun's bad, but so are all the enemy tanks in this case.
Also true.
It's just it's really interesting seeing how these divisions play out, so to speak.
Indeed it is. So I do feel compelled to make the comment. A big apology, of course, to Curbs out there, who is in fact a first Welsh speaker, and yes, Welsh is truly superior. And yeah.
Yep.
But in the meantime, Rang, let's get set up for our next one.
Sure. We'll be heading to the intermission. See you in a few. And we're back for another terrible match here. We have Von Grimes versus Time to Collision. And here's
what do we see with times?
it is lots of supply trucks in A phase. It's rather generous. We've got some Pack 43s. I believe we're also seeing a Nashorn as well. Airplanes is very recon heavy, but the infantry is bare bones, to say the least. Yeah, that's bad, but it's legal. It's legal. And if we look at Von Grimes' deck, a little bit generous on the infantry, still Tartleck. It's not as bad, I think. It has a bit of... Oh no, it's Lovas, my bad.
Yes, it is.
So it's a little bit more generous, I think. It even has the like good anti-aircraft guns, the Nimrods, which are really good. Yeah,
it is. But I mean, from a tank perspective, I mean, actually, yeah, I guess overall. So if we get to Phase C, we're going to see some really, really devastatingly biplane action. But I don't know. Our first love us again, Hungarian. Don't get me wrong, I love it to death. But the infantry tab for me, I think, is going to be the make or break moment.
Yeah, it's 78th Sturm infantry tab is awful. Like, especially on a map like this, it's not going to be. He's gonna have a hard time.
One rhino just got hunted.
Oh, I think you're not allowed to do that these days.
Not anymore. But holy mother of pearl! Watching this 50mm down south is like, oh my god.
Yep.
They're freaking machine guns.
Yeah, they're very powerful and they can actually shoot stuff, but unlike, usually in most matches they just die immediately. So in this sort of setup, it's actually decent because there's not enough stuff that can kill them quickly. And
in my lead views right now, we have the Ju-88s going out to shoot down all the biplanes.
Yeah. It's been really like a bad time to be a biplane. Actually, I think the Ju-88s don't have like front machine guns, so all they have is the turrets.
You're right. I hadn't thought about that. Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. But that means the ME-109 G6 over here actually might get outshot.
Getting stressed out a wee bit, yeah, but yeah, the 46 has again shot down by a Nimrod, and yeah, that Nimrod is gonna be, I think, gonna be MVP. That's my prediction because it can just kill everything. Anti-air tanks, it doesn't care. He just shoots. He doesn't think. He just kills. He's an idiot like that,
Yeah, well, he was not exactly the smartest in the class, but you got to give him a little bit of love.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other one's being brought into the north as well, so that is the entire complement right there. So kill the Nimrod, save the world. Good to know. Down
south, we got a bit of a Jeep rush with these KF sets because Von Grimes doesn't have really any infantry. He's going to have to be leading with recon cars, and that one anti-tank gun just blew them all out of the water.
Amusingly enough, I was looking at this upside down. I was like blue right, red left. Just because this has been such a topsy-turvy tournament already, I was like, how the heck are you talking about down south? That's up north. But that's absolutely right. Now, I am a little nervous over here, I think, for TTC, because we do have a couple of Stokes on the map, and outside of those 40mm, getting some really, really cheeky side shots might be a little hard to deal with.
Yeah. I honestly don't know how Von Grimes is gonna be able to pull this off. Just his deck is really, the deck he's being forced to play is really bad. It's not fun at all. Almost. But I mean, he's got failed gender army troops, the police troops. They're gonna be a real huge boon. But look at Time to Collision. He has he has like proper infantry squads.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's got those like Kappa. I'm not going to even try, but proper dudes with like more than 4 guys in a squad. Huge.
And once again, the 40mm have HE ammo. So I don't care that I have super short range or that my AP shells are not as effective. I have HE, therefore I have field guns. Yeah, and against like 4-man squad, that HE is like not terrible, especially when the 4-man squad has no way of really shooting you back. On the totally PKs coming on through. Ooh, actually, it's kind of interesting to see these martyrs come on in. Will they give their lives for the cause, or will they be able to actually have an effect?
I have a feeling on a map like this, they're going to be pretty bad. And we kill some of the tanks maybe, and heck, if we can kill a Nimrod, that'll be a huge boon, but just have to see.
Yeah, there's a piece of me as well that wonders if it's not better to keep your anti-air, like as soon as you see the anti-air like warning come up, that the whole little siren and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be a better idea if the klaxon just like turn off all your anti-air for a couple seconds, let the plane get in, especially if it's a recon plane? Because for some reason, outside the Nimrod, everything else doesn't kill planes.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it is a good strategy. It requires a lot of micro to do, so it's pretty tough. But
sorry to interrupt. Faust Patron on Stoke to the north. 3, 2, 1.
Come on. Terrible
Dude, doesn't
shot.
matter. That's fine. Hey, track's broken. He should be able to take out. Dude, he wants a second shot, man. He's high class.
HE46 coming in, trying to get eyes on, but Nimrod, I mean, he doesn't care.
I'm sorry, you're absolutely saying, please.
I know, just, I forgot, but we got a bunch of toadies now up north, and this Hungarian deck's really good. It's just not like... I think you could almost play as Hungarian deck in a regular match.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you have 26 squads of infantry coming in the second phase into phase B, and some of them are flame and some of them are just kind of line troops, it's shockingly okay.
Yeah, it's not, meta or, ideal by any sense of imagination, but you could do decent with this. Like, you've got
so
balanced
long as
income.
you're not playing the Poles or yeah,
or any of or the other like really good Soviet style divisions. You've just got like huge tank spam up north, and even though 78th is usually a division that has good anti-tank capabilities, not against yes many tanks, and especially in close range maps. Pretty much all the maps we picked for this tournament are much more of the close quarters variety, also north, also east, and south, just to make it a little bit more interesting.
Now I think we have the entire every last tank is to the north.
Yeah, just all of them, We got some of those anti-tank rifle bikes that you love being brought to the middle.
Come on, how can you hate these things though? It's literally like the dude in the sidecar has to have like a little tiny turret, like.
Yeah.
Oh man, probably saves his shoulder or something fierce though.
Oh yeah, I bet it would like slow down the bike a little bit every time you shot it, just from the recoil.
Fires it and the entire bike moves off the road.
We need to make it hard left. He points to the right and shoots.
I hadn't even thought of it that way, but you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think I'm surprised there's actually any recon planes left also, because any time it's gone onto the field, every time it's gone down.
Yeah. Yeah, just looking at numbers, the red side of the map is much less populated than the left side, or the blue side of the map. I just want to take a look at the 78th deck again. Like B phase, he has not much really.
When you say not much really, is that to say nothing worthwhile, or truly not much?
He's got some anti-tank guns, which will probably help out, but much at all. He's got like decent amounts of stugs, but yeah.
And then we have the Ju-88s making passes. I'm not really sure what they're supposed to be doing.
They're just forming like a conga line.
Yeah, this isn't the Berlin airlift though. Like, I realize that has absolutely no sense, but the Ju-88s, I'm not even sure what they're supposed to be doing. Are they there for recon? Are they not there for recon? You want to act interested, but you're not that interested, but she's not interested, so I'm kind of interested? Like, I don't know what's going on with this. We do see one of the toadies does go down, though. The Martyr is able to kill something that is, unfortunately, very, very under-armored for the time period.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. But martyr by martyr, they're starting to go down.
And just that cavalry charge here with all those Hungarian tanks is... Yeah, just against like 78th with all only like mostly lightly, thin tank destroyers, it's gonna work wonders.
Yeah, this is probably the only time I can say that a cavalry assault makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, a lot of the anti-tank really for Von Grimm's here is, well, it's been taken out quite considerably.
And we got a national being brought in, which is, a very scary anti-tank piece, but all of those light tanks can just, shoot them up eventually. Because they all have the same range in the end of the day. Oh no, the Toadies, 1 point... Oh, I only have 1 kilometer range with a 20mm cannon, so National actually has quite a bit of time to get some free shots off.
In Curbs, you're absolutely right. They're probably out for Sunday formation flight. Their shelter-in-place orders aren't coming through right now. So I'm just jealous of this dude right now. Now, down to the south, we are going to have the Hungarian flame troops being brought on in, which is kind of interesting because I feel like we don't actually see them that often, even in the real thing. And I don't know if that's just because they're not that durable or what the deal is. But I feel like we don't see them. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, not often.
But by the same token, to the north, we have Shrek squads galore. So now we need to get infantry up to the front, or else that glorious cavalry attack is going to become that glorious cavalry slaughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Panzer Strike's usually pretty good, but when all you have to rely on really is just Panzer Strikes. I mean, this is an SD-44, so you can't really use them effectively. It's going to be tough to try to get them in position to actually blow up those light tanks.
Yes, sir. Well, the infantry columns continue to move over here, over to the central and the northern positions, as we kind of see more and more consolidation. And I'm trying to figure out what is the play from Von Grimm's, and given what he's got in the first place,
I have a feeling he's lost this match immediately when he just accepted to join the tournament, because this is such a bad deck. It's bad. It's bad.
This is the way.
No.
Well, now we're actually seeing ground attack planes, even as these 40 mils are just continuing to engage the infantry down south. Ground attack planes, bombs coming through in just a moment, I imagine, and not even this one ME-109 is going to keep them away. Not even this 20mm will keep them away. Like, come on, that's not going to do shack.
Infantry is so blobbed up. Yeah, it could be some pretty good kills.
You're going to have just enough firepower to keep a lot of the interceptors at bay, too. So, I mean, it's... I don't know, man. The Focke-Wulf 189, or the JUs that we saw recently as well, not the worst, just nowhere near the best.
Yeah, they're not doing too bad, honestly. And the Focke, the bombs on those recon planes is really nice, because they can, see what's on the ground and then blow it to hell and back. Nice combo.
Can we also talk about the fact... Again, just keeping one eye on your chat here, too. Rooster, you're absolutely right. The troops in the PVC transports be quicker for them to get out and walk. That's absolutely right. It might be the only thing that's slower than the whatever.
Yeah, only 20... I think it's the slowest transport in game, only 25 kilometers an hour. Or, an infantry squad goes, I think, 18 to 20.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's probably as fast as just a walk, because you can just walk a direct path, instead of having to follow the goddamn road.
Actually, you know what? It's so slow that those World War I tanks beat them to the front.
Oh,
that's how slow they are.
If you zoom in on them, I like how this... Who thought those reels were a good idea? Looks like it's like a Ragon.
It's true. It's like, men, we're going to the Eastern Front. Russia, ho!
I think maybe they're actually just Ragon carts, but they forgot the horses. Now the guys are actually behind it, just pushing it.
It might also be, though, too, that I think those were because the Hungarian economy was just not that wonderful, so the rubber was in such short supply, they had to take those really super, super janky, old school bits here.
Yeah, I know, the Axis had a pretty tough time with rubber. Couldn't get the rubber to the roads,
True, I'm sorry, I was looking to the south and just seeing that we have, this Battle of Britain air power, all of these Junkers, flying ground support for these two essentially light bombers.
Yeah. Blow up light infantry. And they're actually doing a pretty good job, but yeah, these JU-88s are just useless. I mean, they can spot stuff, but they can't even, do any strafing. All they can do is just fly around in their, flight formations, like they do in an aerial show.
Well, it's the Blue Angels, except that I don't even know what to call them from the German side. The Blau Engels, I guess? I don't know.
The AT rifle bikes are actually making pretty good headway into the enemy front line.
Interesting. Our resident historian for the day is telling us that they were originally supposed to be artillery transports.
Oh.
Which actually, I guess, kind of makes a little bit more sense. You don't mind if they go ridiculously slow. All you got to do is be able to have the horsepower to carry that cannon.
Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty dastardly how you can take them as an infantry transport option.
Well, it's right up there with the RSOs, though, too. So, I mean, the RSOs, though, shockingly are faster. Like, it's a shock.
Yeah, I feel like Time to Collision has definitely got this in the bag. Just the sheer amount of this is a pretty good Hungarian deck. Like, it's not bad. Like, apart from the transports, of course, that's the terrible part. If you were to change it up, I think you could make it work in a 1v1.
Sure. Now, I'm kind of amused to see. Oh yes, our men are definitely about to collapse. Yeah, dude, it's 22-2.
Wonder why?
It's almost as if someone planned it that way. The fiends.
Yeah, Time to Collision. Like, yeah, 70. You can build 78 really bad. I'm quite surprised. Good job on making a deck is terrible. Same for her, Robert. He peaked 78th deck, and his one is also really bad.
It is, but unfortunately, it's kind of what we were asking for in the first place. What you were asking for in the first place, you demon.
This is exactly what we want. We want to see matches which just go absolutely titch up.
Yeah, TTC, you totally mean this division, man. Like, hats off to you.
And that's gonna be a good game. Yes, and looking at the holy,
that might be the most devastating we've once seen see thus far.
I'm so sorry, Von Grims, that you had to play through that for 15 minutes. Oh, my sincerest apology. That is...
Well, Nimrod, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty spread.
I'm surprised, except for that Nimrod. Vargo over there is trying to, steal everything, but not given the chance overall. And TTC, I have to ask, real quick, TTC, because I know you're in the chat right now. What the heck is your image, your player image, your profile picture? It almost looks like it should be some sort of Darth figure, but I couldn't tell you what the heck that's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's real. I'd like to, maybe...
I don't know. It's one of those things, again, that you take a look at it and you got to know the story behind it, and it's nice to see people there.
Yeah.
But all right. So I think we're about ready to go for the next one.
Yeah, so I'll see you guys a little bit later. We're going to be... Oh, not a little bit. Very soon. We're going to intermission.
Yeah, because I'm going to say, dude, how long intermission do you want to go here?
Not that long. But we'll get the next replay up in a few minutes. So see you again. And we're back for another match, but this time on Shell. We have Brigadier General Turner versus Right Eagle. I'm bringing up Right Eagle's deck up again, so as we've seen it before, it's not great.
No, but you know the thing actually I do appreciate is the fact that we are going to see some defenses here. Like, I feel like so many decks are like, you know what? I'm not going to fill out the defenses. Dude, you got to at least give me the meme defenses. This is a meme match. This is a meme tournament. Let's show the meme defenses here, too.
I'm trying to bring up Brigadier General's deck real fast, because he has a different name than he'd usually...
Ugh.
But just looking at the actual match as I just try to bugger around with OBS here we go. It's pretty good opener, it seems, from Right Eagle, it seems. He's actually got, like, Jeeps available to him, which is a pretty rare commodity, and HE cluster bombers.
Wait, HE cluster bombers? Oh my god, that's going to be god-awful to deal with. Well, we'll see one of those right now. Here comes the IL-2 to the south with 350 kilograms. HE, jeez. Oh my god, he's going to the north. This could be the highway to hell.
Oh god, that is... Those guys, they're so bundled up together. I mean, it's only PTS squads, to be fair, so losing them doesn't really matter. But here we go.
There's PTRS squads, but they're going to have PTSD after this is done.
And look, the cluster bombers. How useful they are. Yay.
Well, I guess here comes a second one. Gonna hit that same kind of collection of troops. Yep, this is how you should be doing it, though, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, HE cluster bombers are awful.
Well, that's kind of what you expect, I think.
Yes.
No?
For this tournament, that's exactly what we want.
Well, and it's really nice to get exactly what we asked for, but at the same time, it hurts so much to watch some of these matches happen, because you just want to, like, shake people.
Why do you not give them any infantry? How could you do such a thing? The front lines are slowly collapsing and they can't do anything about it.
Well, and that's actually what TTC is complaining about over in the game that he had with White Eagle.
Yep.
Yep. But actually, interestingly enough, we actually had the Shomofiki rocks being given in the first place too. So I don't know. These guys are just being super nice to each other.
It is like it's a good choices to bring because they're so good in CQC. And once again, we're seeing more cluster bombers. But oh no, they're just running around. They haven't evac yet. I guess he's.
No, he's going after the biplanes.
Oh yeah.
Biplanes.
You could actually like. There we go. One.
Oh, come on. There's no way in heck they're going to do anything with that. They have 200 rounds of machine gun ammo. If they have anything, they're going to die.
Yeah. It's a really pathetic amount of ammo for like a biplane. You think you could stick like a 1 or 2 more in the back seat, but no. we had to make room for all of these like camera equipment.
That's okay. We're going to watch the bloody siege of Russia Stonge over here.
Oh god.
They are definitely going and slightly reconnecting. Ooh, there we go. How about that? Was not expecting that even remotely.
Oh. But, yeah, this... I do like it's the middle task force on that hill, like T-34s and all infantry. That's a pretty good force to like make an aggressive play with. Down south, Brigadier is making some pretty good maneuvers. He's like slowly clearing the forest out of other friendly Russians. But not so friendly, I guess. They'll kind of shooting each other. Okay.
Oh no, there's the whites and the reds. So that's honestly that's my headcanon every single time we have a divisional kind of engagement here. Now I am mildly amused by the fact that we have 4 PTRS squads behind enemy lines in the center, and they're just I think pounding on this T-34-76 is Komrotti with a damaged transmission.
Yeah.
Really is mildly amusing there.
I haven't seen this many anti-tank rifles in such a long time.
And we never will again.
Yeah. One-time thing, folks.
Blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah.
But more dozers being brought in. PTRSs against PTRSs. See, this is like the wet noodle contest for the ages whenever this happens.
Too bad you can't actually use PTRSs to shoot other infantry.
Well, you can try.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they don't really like having that happen.
No.
Regardless, though, PTRSs being deployed to the center might be here to try to go after those T-34-76s. I'm going to check back again. I don't think that... Does our Brigadier General over here, is he polite with how many tanks he's being given by White Eagle? I don't recall White Eagle really soaring that high with tanks. No, it's only 6.
Yeah, I just think he's making those T-34s, count. I mean, looking at Right Eagle's deck, like, yeah, he only has a T-34 card in the phase. It's only those 2, but those 2 T-34s are doing a really good job.
Certainly seem to be thus far. Checking into other sides of the map overall, kind of funny. We have like these Zis guns just shelling different positions here and there, but not really getting any kind of consistent control overall. So now we talked about earlier today the idea of whether or not you'd rather have a 45 mil or a Zis. I keep going back and forth now after your comments about you might want to have the 40 mil because it's less important, but like this isn't really giving me a whole lot of love either here. Not a lot of effectiveness. I don't know.
Yeah, it's both aren't great choices. Same with these HC. To see these HC cluster bombers, just hilarious. I wonder if like it actually is ineffective in real life because they barely do anything in game here. Like we're gonna see this northern squad about to get clustered, but they're probably not gonna care.
Well, 10 kilograms, 20 pounds of HE being thrown at you. I mean, it really is a raw chance whether or not you get hit.
I did like that. Actually, did pretty good that time. So it seems to be a bit inconsistent. Second time.
Well, they're falling back. It's going to mostly miss, I imagine.
Yeah. It was.
Yep. So, like cluster bombers of all Stripe and Creed, if you are able to stay mobile whenever the initial bombing strike comes in, you have a chance. If you can't, it's nice knowing you. Watching these PTRSs down south continue to fight that Camrotti, and I keep thinking to myself, like the old Warner Brothers cartoon of how to use an anti-tank rifle.
Oh, yeah. It's funny how I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the one where you shoot the Panzer run, and it's like
yes.
they have to like lead. Yeah, I know exactly. Yes. I watched the entire thing as well, Khan.
And it's also really crazy to think that they've made war training films too, like
cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I think there's some really crazy stuff in the 20th century. 21st century is completely different, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
We make memes about war now. That's different. Down south, the knee mortar is trying to go and engage with the Snipiri, and I hate to say it, but yeah, that was only going to happen one way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trove the Trove TM. We might do this tournament again sometime in the future, but don't really have any concrete plans. But well, it seems like people are pretty much enjoying this run, so we might do it again.
Well, and actually, I was talking with Ryan kind of in some of the intermissions here. If you have another idea about a way to run a rather unique one, a tournament that's fair, by all means, let us know, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was spitballing the idea of having gladiators where we match up specific divisions for some compositions.
Mm-hmm.
If we can manage some sort of like overriding, I'm not going to say campaign thing, but if we can manage that, we'll definitely try to make it work. The effort that's gone into this one. Again, PLK and Rangru are the designers and really kind of brought this together. But we'll see. But we will see.
It's been feels kind of even though I mean Brigadier General has lost by quite a bit, but it's starting to even out a bit now here because Right Eagle is starting to push along the southern side again. He's going to get another flag under his control, and Brigadier General just doesn't have too much on the field at the moment.
No, and I mean nothing that really can actually hold the line.
No.
Yes, we have the Razvedkas coming in, those guys that are, again, rather beefy, that we never see for good reason. But outside of that, White Eagle has just been cruel.
Mm-hmm. The PTRSs are trying to kill this 1-2-34 in a forest, and they're not doing anything. They're just slowly stressing them out.
Dude, I'd be stressed out. I don't want to get hit by metal rain.
Let's see that consistent.
Exactly. It's practically a downpour for those poor guys.
Yeah. We've got some 50mm mortars being brought in to try and clear things up.
Well, we got the 82mm from behind the lines trying to shell as well. Interestingly, this is now the T-34-76s. So I never thought I would see PTRSs force a secession, let's say, of ground. But here we are.
I know, the 13mm mortars are in position, and they are just going to devastate that infantry. Unless the T-34s come in and
devastate them.
The M17 gets killed. And also, M17 was like a pretty good unit choice because it can do a lot of damage against infantry. And it's mobile, which is not something all that common in deck so far.
Once again, kind of for good reason, but yes.
This is a good counter push here from Brigadiers, shoring up the southern middle once again, but down south. Right Eagle, he is pushing hard. I mean, the M17 is going to be chasing the PTRS's array, and the sniper squad. If you look like up north, we've got like a bunch of recon units behind enemy lines. This is a map where it's very easy to get behind enemy lines due to all the forests, so I do like that play quite a lot.
And it's so weird to see this again. Like I can't help but just constantly say that. I'm sure you guys are just really, really tired of hearing it, but it's so weird just to kind of watch this happen. There's all of this weird stuff. I heard stories from you, from others, about the frontline issues of Red Dragon. Not Red Dragon. Oh my gosh, Red Dragon.
SD44?
Yes. Well, not SD44. Oh my gosh, what you call it?
War game?
Thank you. That's the one. And it's just been so strange. Like, I feel like this is probably what one of those maps would look like.
In a sense, yeah. But if War game Red Dragon, imagine like we have all the map, like what you see right now, with all the flags and whatnot. We see all that outer bounds area. All of that would be in play, but there'd be no flags there, or it'd just be dead space. And that's a War game Red Dragon map.
Aha.
Yeah.
That's far less enjoyable.
I know, because you just like spend all the time going around the flank of the map with an infantry squad, and then get behind the enemy spawn point, and then just camp him, or like knock it out, because you can knock out enemy spawn points.
The IL-2 is being called in. They have their HE underneath their wings still, but they are here just to kill those biplanes.
Probably a bit more useful than actually dropping in bombs.
Well, again, the biggest issue is they've been making bombing runs from really, really bad angles, though.
Yeah. Those HE clusters have a really light spread, and also random as well, so you kind of have to like line it up right and pray to God. It's not the best combination, but yeah.
God doesn't exist, only Lenin.
Look, the Samaviki gets like only half stressed out, but not lose a single guy due to the spread of those bombs.
Well, down to the south, the IL-2 is just going to just loft some random rounds? No, it doesn't even do that. He just kind of says, screw it.
Nope.
See, there we go. Better call. Let's go after the trucks.
You need to like go after big blobs to actually do any damage.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. That's God.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
One of the worst like bomber planes in the entire game. At least with like a biplane with light bombs, you know, at least the bombs are gonna hit something. Whereas the cluster bombs, it's just 50-50.
Oh, jeez. But they're going to make gun runs now with all of the machine guns that they have on there. Which makes sense. They still are a fairly stable platform.
Yep.
But... Yeesh.
Oh my god! That's a T-3045 Khan! That's some real serious armor, like down south. Like that's really generous. Like, it's a tank that has more than 100mm of penetration. This is...
No, but we saw the same thing with the KV-1.
Yeah.
The KV-1 was like, oh my god, this thing is not going to move. But, like, you have one tank in one spot. Sorry, not to remove your enthusiasm. You're absolutely right. It's weird to me to actually see something like that.
That's so generous. And there's another one. Oh my god. Like, it could actually do stuff. I mean, there's other T-34s. No T-34s can kill the other T-34. But in the end of the day, it's a T-34.
It is, but it has no stabilizers.
It doesn't have stabilizers. Now we need to see, what's it, Third Guard mech? Get some Shermans out, but they're probably a bit too good, honestly, in this tournament. Can't be having stabilizers.
Of course, but at the same time, too, I mean, have we seen any supply trucks come out? No, I don't think so. You want to know why? Because it didn't need them. That's how good these divisions are.
Yeah. Once your artillery's out of ammunition, you know... They'll figure something out. They'll just throw, like, the mortar piece at the enemy. It's, like, big and heavy. You could use it as a club. Use it as a shield, too, if you just, like, hold it up with, like, the ground part.
Yeah, but if you do that part, at that point it turns into, like, True Lies, where you're hiding behind a telephone pole when somebody's spraying an MG at you.
I also know exactly what you're talking about with that clip.
It's an amazing movie. I'm sorry. It's like, I have to watch that. Oh, man. But you're right, T-3485 is coming to the front here, and in fact, we might see a legitimate tank v tank action.
Oh my god. I think the two T-34s are probably going to win just because, you know, numbers. Oh no, T-35 got, like, really good first shot.
But it's the penetration issue.
Yeah. I am you, but better. Yeah,
that was... You said I am you, my mind went to, like, I am the walrus, and I don't know why. Man, I need more sleep. But But you're right. I mean, the T-34-76 though, just that penetration is just not good.
Oh,
It isn't.
I was expecting a little bit more from them, but they just really couldn't cut it.
No, the mustard has not been cut. The mustard has not been cut.
No.
The question is, can White Eagle actually take back territory? Because it's wonderful to know that he has a legitimate occasional tank here. But to what end?
Yeah, he doesn't really have much infantry, it seems. He's got recon bikes and now anti-tank guns being brought in. That's gonna help out. Totally, 100%.
You know, the thought occurred to me, it was kind of funny that normally we would see, like, oh my gosh, we see bikes and we see anti-tank guns. He must be running low of stuff. In here, it's like, his main line. Let's do this.
They're gonna have all the bikes like line up, and then they're just gonna like slowly drive forward, like in a Mad Max movie or something.
Oh, that's generous too.
Yeah.
I was thinking they're all gonna get like the flagpoles again, going back to Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh man.
Oh god, what terrible bikes. Like the anti-tank guns running in, but that one recon, like proper squad is holding them back pretty hard. A T-34-85, I mean, he could just kind of rush up here and kill stuff unsupported.
He could, but the 45 mil is still there.
Yeah, if he can kill out, and he can like, there's more 45 mils being brought in, so it's pretty tough.
And that's going to be the end of that anti-tank position.
Oh.
No,
Like,
why did you run away from it? It's a 45 mil.
The recon bike wants to get the kill.
That would be hysterical.
Nope.
Now, wait. Now we have the IL-2s making HE clusters on a tank.
I know he's going for...
okay, never mind. Okay. I thought they were going for the tank.
Will it do anything? Who the fuck designed that plane?
No,
who thought that was a good idea?
Come on, blame the bombs.
I mean the bombs. I mean the bombs.
Say.
Like, surely they weren't ineffective in real life. That's just ridiculous. Like you have like 70 bombs being dropped in a tight position, and it can't even kill a single man.
Well, you know what? I imagine if there was more men in those squads, it'd be a higher suppression value. And see, that's the part of me. I was wondering if there's a different suppression value between the number of men in the possible squad and the max squad size. I was wondering. I'm not the kind of guy again to go for that, but it made me wonder for a second.
Yeah.
I also want to note Edgar's comment to you in return. Yes, we're not going after water, we're going after vodka. You're absolutely right.
Totally correct, Edgar.
But the driver's been knocked out. So from such a close position, never mind, nothing happens.
Yeah, definitely a race to point in time collision, but I think he's done a good job in picking that plane. Oh my god, I'm so like, gobsmacked about how terrible that is.
Pardon me while I watch this 45 mil take out this T-34 in one shot. Oh no, driver killed. Okay.
It's just getting kind of closer. Right here is, I mean, he's losing right now, but it's not too much of a gap between both sides. They're both juggernaut income, so it's pretty even Stevens in that regard. And he has those heavily armored T-30-45s, which can, make a big difference by just killing everything. And like the one in the middle is just like moving by himself. He doesn't need infantry.
Well, and I think I might be wrong, but he actually might have the supply trucks to reinforce it too.
I need something. Down south we're getting a bunch of PTRSs from Brigadier General, and 45 mils and leader units from Right Eagle. Just these divisions are terrible. They're really bad.
Well, the PE-2R couldn't kill on its first pass. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you a plane that has literally 20 rounds of 12-7 ammo.
Oh god. It has 80 rounds of ammunition for its nose gun? Yeah, that's a bit pathetic. What are you supposed to do? That's like, it takes like 80 rounds to like get onto target.
Yes,
It must be a
that's-
typo. It has to be a typo. Like from Eugene's side. No way they would like equip a plane with only 80 rounds of nose gun ammo.
No, there are no mistakes from Eugene, only Zool. All these PTRSs are jumping forwards, and we have these 45 mils just engaging this last couple of trucks in this column. That's hysterical.
Anti-tank gun's like, oh no, I'm being killed very slowly.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Oh.
But it's 13-11. White Eagle is turning this around somehow.
This is getting pretty like close. Like T-34 push in like the southern middle sides captured quite a bit of ground, and now Brigadier General's just getting down to like the PTRS spam, and it's like they're more useless.
Yes, they are.
They're really bad. I like how like the real common theme so far of a lot of the really bad divisions is that the infantry is just non-existent for most part. That's a real. Because infantry is such a vital part in this game when you don't have anything that's like substantial in terms of numbers. As we see here, you can't really do anything effective. You can't move up, you can't clear up positions.
That certainly does seem to be the case. I mean, and we constantly see all these little PTRS squads and things like that too. Normally, I feel like we've just watched, as usually the PTRS squads just murk vehicles galore. And that happens, except when we have a real tank.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen very often. But Brigadier General Tour looks like he's going to get demoted pretty soon. White Eagle is definitely flying high as we speak.
Those airplanes. They're not good airplanes, but I mean, at least the IL-2 cluster bombers can
Theoretically drop something.
And they're more useful for just strafing targets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause I don't think there's any anti-tank at this point, really, other than like a couple 45
T-45 went down to a PTRS of all things. He got side-shotted by a PTRS squad and like died immediately. Holy crap.
Well, there's still the one to the south, and actually might see that history repeat itself as they hunker in the trees waiting for the tank to pass.
You can actually, like, killing those tanks would be pretty big.
Oh my god, they actually maybe are trying to sit in ambush.
Yeah. The side armor of the T-34s is pretty pathetic. Oh, it's actually 72mm. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, you bite your tongue.
I know. Really
Back,
get a lucky
though.
shot?
Well, they can't see him at the moment. And jumping Jehoshaphat. Look at that column going into the north as well. No, don't show him your heels, my friend. There we go. Finally turning around slowly. We still might find an ignoble death here. I don't know if it's going to happen necessarily, but it's pretty dang close.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have a Combrati squad that's going to be out of SVT ammo in about 3, 2... Oh no, he broke contact just long enough to not have no ammo.
He's got 18 shots to kill 2 guys. Can he do it? No.
The jury's out, but they're not looking good.
Alright, lads, bayonets. You can't do that.
And the Brigadier General says, you know what, man? It's time for me to bow out tastefully.
That was a pretty close match, though. Like,
Look at the KD, too.
yeah, holy crap, that was both sides of, like, equally bad decks. Yeah, looking at kills here, Army Yanska did pretty good. T-34, yeah, not some decent standouts.
Now, just to prove the point here, the IL-2 clusters almost had more kills in the air than they did on the ground together. And let's remind you, everyone, they were going after biplanes too. So,
yeah, we haven't seen so many biplanes in like forever. NKVD knocking out like 4 PCRS squads. The M17 doing really well, and the T-4045s.
the funny thing too is that you look at the T-3045s. I mean, it looks like they have crazy amounts of kills, and you realize all of them are worth like 10 points. So who cares?
Yeah, yeah.
But I will say, folks, I know you're here to hopefully get some more love in between Rang and myself. Unfortunately, I have some stuff in the IRL to kind of take care of. So, Rang, I wish you the best for the rest of this tournament. Folks, I know we're actually also going to do some replays of, I think, later on in the tournament this week.
Yeah, we're going to cover next week. We're going to be covering more games with our regular casts from this tournament. So we have more of this coming up.
Indeed. So, everyone, you have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. For my folks in the U.S., happy Memorial Day weekend, and stay safe. Rang, good luck, sir. You take it easy, okay?
Take it easy, Khan. And with that, we'll be going to an intermission to get the next match up. So, yeah, see you in a little bit. And we're back for another terrible match, but unfortunately this time you guys are just, well, stuck with me now. So once again on the show, we're on Von Grimm's versus Mr. Vincent. This is Von Grimm's deck, and it's a, rather generous Lovas deck. It's not bad. It's honestly not that bad, considering all things. And if we take a look at Mr. Vincent's deck, as I pull up here, this one is quite noticeably a bit worse. I mean, it does have not as many tanks. The anti-tank tab is pretty generous compared to others. Not as heavy in the anti-tank rifles department. But the infantry is, I mean, like a lot of things in this tournament, not having a good enough amount of infantry really hurts you. So actually down to the match itself. Once again, we are on Shell. Very good close quarters map, and I think Vincent is going to have a rather fun time using those Nimrods. Really too nice of a choice in all things. And also it's a pretty good map for Lovas, because it's very close quarters. Those Hungarian tanks can really get in close and actually do quite a bit of damage. BMWs here. Of course you can see on the BMWs, but pretty slow deployments. Usually slower than usual because everyone is rather nasty and takes slow transport options. Oh, the 40mm getting some good snipes along the road, forcing the infantry to disembark just a little bit soon. Is he actually going to get a kill hill? Yeah, he does. That's pretty decent. And a 50mm mortar here in a really good position to provide some fire support and try to blow up the infantry inside the buildings. That's what mortars do really well. Yeah, Vincent's infantry, it's not bad. I mean, those Carrick, the Hungarian infantry, let's just call them, aren't, the main thing, it's not great loadout, but they got a lot of dudes, which really goes and helps you quite a bit, especially considering that Von Grimm's really only has 2-man leader squads, 4-man sappery squads, and like some larger leader squads. I mean, even though a larger leader squad is actually not bad. E2 doing a pretty good strafing run there. Yeah, Vincent is slowly clearing out the middle here. Yes, it's pretty slow. It's really not nothing too crazy going on. It's just Vincent slowly moving up his infantry to clear up one Soviet position at a time. Just Kachuk taking out the 50mm, nice long range, but yeah, it gets picked off by the 40mm. Those AC rifle bikes, you gotta move around a bit, because if you were to, get them along the flank here, you could, maybe shoot stuff as they try to cross the river and across the road. Nimrod facing off against his anti-aircraft adversary. And like I said, Nimrod is such a good unit. Even in regular matches, it is one of the best anti-aircraft pieces, or heck, you can argue even best anti-tank piece in the game. Just having armor penetration on an autocannon of this caliber is nasty. Just absolutely nasty. It has the same armor penetration value as a Turan 2. But as we just saw, it got killed. It went kaboom. It is now very dead from that T-34 long range. Because even though it is a powerful vehicle, it dies very quickly because it only has 30mm of that frontal armor, which is not a lot. It's got lots of infantry reinforcements being brought in, lots of AT guns, but it's slow and steady. Finn's getting that, plus 1 point advantage. 40mm doing its damnedest to try to kill these KV-1s, but those KV-1s might as well be heavy tanks. I mean, they are heavy tanks, but they might be, a little bit heavier than usual. Because all the AT guns we're seeing are crap. I don't think we've seen a single Pack 40 or Pack 38, or heck, even this 2 so far in any of these decks. It's always been just Sis 3s and anything small caliber. Or the crappy Hungarian 75mm. You know the ones I'm talking about. Ones that should be in the previous war, not the current second war. Artillerists and NKVD troops. They're going to be so useful in actually, it might not be too bad. A bunch of CQC guys in a heavily forest area. Did actually do a decentish job. Just got the toady spam. If you're an SSC being forced to retreat now, I think the 40mm just banged it up a little bit too much on this Hungarian infantry. Could very easily clear this town, and once you hold this town, it's very easy to lock down. Here you just put an anti-tank gun or something covering the road, and you're pretty much good to go. BMW's trying to be flying up against a Maxim. Really bizarre fight, but the Maxim has a little bit of, extra machine guns, but not enough. The bike does take the victory. In all, 4 of his reels, because it's, well, 3 reels, I should say. It's a little sidecar thing. As you've seen, oh wow, Nashorn. What of the Bezlugo variety? Only get a single one of these, which is actually a very good card to take to screw over your opponent. As yes, it's, a very powerful anti-tank gun. But it has terrible armor, and there's no IS-2s, so there's nothing heavy. You don't really need it. Especially on a map like this, it does an awful job. It's so close quarters, it just kind of dies. I might be able to take 1 or 2 things down of it, which is always beneficial. NKVDs making some decent progress into the forest, but yeah, artillerist. I think that's an artillery leader. Oh no, it's just a regular leader. Doing a pretty good job holding their ground. Like, surprisingly good job, really. But damn, SMGs are just not really that good by themselves. There's a very good reason you never see people take Avtomachiki squads usually, and usually just take tank destiny keys. Because yeah, having, PPSH is just nice. But so is also having Molotov cocktails. They usually perform a little bit better. And we're seeing the Ju-88 come in once again for their Sunday flight. And they're gonna, they're gonna be able to spot stuff, and that's really it. Usually, if other recon planes we've seen, they can at least do strafing attacks. These can't. They can fly around and get shot down by enemy fighter planes. The KV-1Ss you might have saw kind of went kaboom. I believe the Faustpatron, managed to get a Faustpatron shot off, so that's a pretty big kill. And it's going to be a very easy position for Vincent to hold for the rest of the match. Now slowly going to be clearing up the southern side. Yeah, like Von Grimm definitely made a very playable deck. I know in Discord he said he probably was a little bit too generous with his deck composition. Playable in this tournament. I was looking at it again, and then something you would want to play in a 1v1, I think, because you still don't have enough tanks. And we do also have the really terrible artillery tractor transports. But here, this is like, this is might as well be meta level, like top tier. Like, he's made the nicest deck, so he gets that award. I was having to use this SU-88. He actually picks off one of the enemy tanks, which, in a weird way, is kind of his own tank. Another one, there we go. It's actually proven to be pretty rough for this SU-88. Once these anti-tank guns get into position, it's dead. It can't do anything. Can't do anything effective. I'm really surprised these Ju-88 Trevor are still alive, so to speak. Fighters are actually having a hard time shooting them down, running low on ammunition and all. Ju-88 can't really do too much. He doesn't, Starsea. He's a very empathetic player. Oh, seeing the Focke-Wulfs now. So far, Von Grimm's, which I'm guessing is Jesse, you do. You've made a very nice deck. Like, I would want to fight against you if I was in this tournament. That's for certain. Also because Lothas's light tanks are all really good. Like, I don't have terrible light tanks. Like, even the Toady 1s and 2s, recons, fantastic in terms of armor or whatnot. But like 10 to 15 points, they're really cheap. And then the Turan tanks, also really good tanks for what they are. I noticed you did take the Turan 2s, which is the worst of the options, so that's a good choice. Oh, let me double check. They do have the Torontos. Which aren't that good. And the airplanes just flying around, spotting stuff. But they can't really do much else apart from that. I think about slower this match is going, I'm just going to take it to a ×2 speed, so I'm going to go to the splash screen and bring it back so you don't actually see the time of the replay, because I know people don't like that, so... Here we go, look! It's going a little bit faster now. What was your other deck, Jesse? I mean, like, Division. Oh, Korok. I don't think we've seen a Korok deck. I haven't seen one in any of these replays, but in terms of submissions, I don't think anyone submitted a Korok deck. I think the reason for that is because they have all those one-slot tank cards, and because Remedy, you have to fill up every single one-slot, one-slot activation in every division. You would have to fill up all the Korok tank cards. Meaning that you'd have to fight against a lot of tanks. Even though the Korok tanks are pretty bad. Like Valentine's. And Panzer 3Gs. E60s, nothing really great. Is this some 222? Oh, it's 39. I thought the 222's got the icon, but it's the Hungarian clown car. The 39M. It's also like not a bad vehicle. And also of Korok who, like, your bad infantry is the SS Supos and other disheartened troops. And they're bad, but you get a lot of damage. Right, I guess you could just get leaders. Really the meta thing, the ideal thing to do in this. I don't want to say it's a meta for this, because this is like a one-day tournament. It hasn't really been around long enough to do a meta for Divisional disaster. But really, the idea for infantry is to just take infantry leaders. Because if you screw your opponent out of infantry, you pretty much win the match. It's just slow and steady. Like, Vincent is slowly grinding away at Von Grimm's here. He's not making much more headway, but he's got the good defensive positions. And like northern side, it seems like it's going to be a bit of a breakthrough here with all this armor. That's a pretty hot CPU, yeah. Yeah, Finzan's stack, which is the Russian one we're seeing, it's pretty bad. It's just not much, yeah. It's just all crap infantry, crap anti-air, it's all crap. Exactly what you want. Seen this blob of leaders being forced to fight on the front. Leader's example. Not going to be doing too much. It's only like 3-man squads. They do have SVTs, which is nice. Not going to help out against, you know, big chunky Hungarian Scrotch. Oh my god! Is this the Flying Circus? Because that's a lot of biplanes. Wow. It's like a swarm of angry bees. Holy... Holy crap. At least I got air superiority now, you know? C-42s. I've never actually seen these things shoot down an airplane. I'd actually like to see it happen. And they're not... I mean, they're pretty fast considering they're, you know, biplanes. Just the armament's terrible with only, you know, 2 13mm machine guns. Oh, this Yakron B probably picked a bad time to come out. Or maybe you can just, like, you know, like boom and zoom on all of it. Oh my god, the Andrusha died immediately. Like, one rocket off. Yo, it makes it count. He makes it count. Come on, biplanes, engage this Yak. We need to see a huge airball, but we're not going to, unfortunately. And yeah, and like a double KD difference jet. Looking at kills here. S-38 doing alright. Yeah, nothing really notable here. Losses, well, yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, nothing too crazy here. It's a pretty like slow and steady standard match. No crazy. I mean, the front line definitely got, you know, pretty awful towards the end, but you know, slow and steady. Nothing too crazy yet. Yeah, we're still gonna probably do a few more matches. I haven't kept up if anyone actually has run yet, or if there's a finals. But if there is, I'll definitely make sure to try and cover that. But we still got quite a few replays, so we're gonna go to the funky Commander and Conquer music in the intermission screen. So see you in a little bit. And we are back for the first time on actually Orsa East, which is one of the other maps in this map pool. We've got Hi Robert up against Green HD. Look at Robert's created deck, which is on screen. It's also another really bad 78 Sturm Division deck. I mean, his one is... it's really bad, as you can tell. Like someone mentioned before, it's pretty easy to make a bad 78 Sturm because a lot of the activation point slots are really expensive, so you can fill up the division with not a lot of stuff. Makes sense. They have been nerfed quite a bit in terms of activation points throughout the patches, so that's a pretty good choice to pick because in that regard, they're terrible. They're not good at all. Green HD is a Tartalek deck, which we've seen Tartalek actually perform pretty good. Same with the other Hungarian divisions, as when everything is brought down to their level, they're not too bad. I do want to take a moment to actually look at the opener here because we've got bikes racing along the middle. And they're getting set up in position. Only have machine guns, so we have the anti-tank rifle. Could he kill a Stug if he just charges it? I believe they can just shoot on the move. Goes run! Charge, my pretties! It may not be the best place to be. Oh, he just goes round to Stug. What are you doing, guys? You kind of run into all of these angry Germans. Here goes another one. Another one as rail explodes right in front of said German positions. That's not good at all. But the good thing for Robert is he has managed to secure the hill very quickly. And yeah, just looking at it, this is Green HD's opener is slow. He has Stugs, which are arguably quite nice tanks, assault guns, tank destroyers, whatever you want to call them, but not going to be enough to win you the match. Infantry is such a vital part of this game. When you just don't have any, you kind of just lose. That was pretty cool with the bike rush. I was hoping he'd like get past his Stug, surround it, and then shoot it from all sides to get the kill, but it did not happen, unfortunately. But the bike rush is making it down south though. This time it's just regular bikes, regular MGs. Got this position on the hill with a flat gun. There's a bunch of anti-tank guns as well, because why not just set up a massive base of fire? Yeah, Robert just got a really good position early on. Econ planes seem some pretty good strength in here. They don't have great firepower, but they're not bad. They're not bad at all. Yeah, really all Green HC has to hold his front line are flat guns and a smattering amount of tanks. It's quite bad. It really is quite bad. Just get the slow reinforcements being brought in. I think it's the worst thing about it. It takes forever for guys to get to the front line. Very much slows down the actual fighting. Might be a good time for those flat guns to maybe unload. Shoot down those Messerschmitts as they fly right overhead. T-26 backing up the Pioneer Führer. I mean, Pioneer Führer is not bad. I don't think it's not the worst choice. It does have grenades, but I believe it has really terrible availability if I take a look. Yeah, it's not great. You only get like 2 of them. And the grenade goes off. It doesn't do all that much. seeing the mortars and machine guns doing really, they're not terrible. In this matchup, they're really quite good. As we've seen before with Tartalek, just having a crap ton of machine guns, even though they're bloody Maxims, and everyone only has CQC troops, they work. Same with these 50mm mortars. The Antares pounding that Messerschmitt, but it's only 20 mils, so it's not really doing that much in terms of damage. It seems more deadly than it actually is. It's pretty slow, pretty steady. Except for the southern flank, has just completely collapsed. I'm quite surprised Green Haze C managed to push through here. I think he got the second grenade off and that just completely killed all the guys. Now he just needs to secure the position. He does have a division that has anti-tank guns, and yeah, he does have the anti-tank gun being brought in the Pack 43. Unfortunately, it's going to take him a long time to actually get to the front line because it has 40 km/h speed. It's a supply truck transport, which is actually quite a surprise. It's a generous option because you get the extra supply. But it does mean it is slow. I don't think a Pack 43 gets anything really fast for transport options anyway, so it makes sense. E26 trying to kill this Somu tank, or Soma. Real unexpected light tank fight, but the French tank does take the victory. It is rather heavily armoured for being a light tank. We haven't seen reinforcements being brought in, and Robert has, you know, actual proper infantry. He's got low vests, and in this tournament, you don't make a deck for proper infantry. Good. It's too good. It's leaders and CQC squads only. And we got like a Stoke being brought in as well, two of them, but they're going to come in too late. If they were here sooner, they probably could have hold the flank, but that's not going to happen. Up north, we're seeing 80mm mortars starting to pound enemy positions. Is he just blind fire? Oh, I thought he was going to shoot into the... Oh, he is. Shooting into the farmstead, but as we know, there's nothing in there. But without really any recon, you can't really do much. You can't really see much, you just kind of have to go off instinct. The Pack 43 here, if he can, you know, sneak up, he can pretty easily knock out these S-35s. There's infantry backing him up. Makes things a bit difficult. There you go. One tank down. Very easy kill. I mean, with a gun of that caliber at distance, you can't really miss. And then the other S-35 going to back off for good measure. ETRS over in the hill, but I mean they can kill the T-26s, that's for sure, but the Stoke, however, and the flat gun, it's a little bit hard, and it's going to be good for Green, because he can kill these PTRSs. Once they're down, the problem is that he doesn't really have any infantry to take the position. His leaders, his Pioneer Fury are slowly coming up. That's going to take like 2 minutes for it to get within the front line. And stuck now, going into the forest. Pretty dangerous call, but he has no real other options, so this is what he has to do. Fortunately, the guys with Panzerfaust aren't close enough or have line of sight to actually blow up his Stug. Even though it's yeah, he notices, and now he's gonna go for the kill. Oh, Stug, move out the way! Oh crap, he has his air badge on! He can't hear us! And he's dead. Oh boy, look at all these bikes coming in. You don't have infantry, you just have infantry on bikes. It's the same thing, right? Those Messerschmitts are trying to strafe, but they're not that effective, it seems. I mean, it's only 2 machine guns, so I'm not too surprised. And the bikes here, I mean, yeah, this is another one of those cases where Green HD's deck is probably a little bit too generous. It's not as dastardly as you can make it. Mortar's trying to hit that one last bike, but hitting a little bit too far. Green HC being forced to fall back from that forest. He does have, you know, a recon unit in there, at least. The Panther Strikes are just useless down south. It's way too open for him to actually do anything. The Slugs are being brought in. They are just mopping up the floor. With the artillery. Yes, it's another one of those slow and steady matches. Her Robert's definitely going to win this, but he can't really move up much. You know. And maybe he can once he uses H39 to get to the front line, but it's going to take him a while to get to said front line. But damn, we still have that anti-tank gun hill. So many guns. We like the perfect artillery strike position, but I don't think her Robert really has any artillery in his deck. No, not really. It was very easy to screw over the enemy out of artillery, because, you know, you got the BO batch, you know, artillery scouts and artillery leaders, which are not very useful. Especially when you don't have any artillery to begin with. And oh look, yes, we got smoking this lone Stug. Trying to block its line of sight. And once again, we're coming into the same problem where we got this awesome tank, which there's nothing that can really kill it, but it can't really find the infantry or kill them or move up. And we've got Panther Strikes trying to clear the town. But against actual proper infantry units, they can't do anything. They just get killed. barely doing a scratch. Unfortunately, the Panzerschrecks can't actually shoot the Panzerschrecks at infantry units. I think it would definitely help out a lot in that case. Hotchkiss is finally reaching the front line, and they can't really do too much against that one stuck. Guns are really crap. Terrible. Oh, god awful. Even bad for a light tank, honestly. The 40 mils get into position, and they're just pinging off at Stug. Just artillery being dropped. Very, very danger close artillery. But finally gets a kill, though. And yeah, this is how Robert is made. Awful deck. Just terrible. Unplayable. All the worst stuff thrown in. Now we even got like the Commander Panzer 2 being used because there's nothing else to really use anymore. I was just seeing a lot of people take a lot of commanders in their decks, you know, filling up all 3 support tabs or slots with commanders. Because it's a good way to race cards, and they're expensive, so it helps to you know, follow the rule where you have to have enough units in A and B phase to actually do stuff. The second stag actually goes down to a riverine amount of fire. That gun ain't really doing much as well. Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. Robert taking the victory. Actually, not that. I thought it'd be a bit worse in terms of the difference between KD, but not that bad. Yeah, Loves is really holding out pretty well because you know, regular dudes in an irregular match. Flat gun, Stugs, yeah, nothing, you know, super amazing from the losses side. We got a few standouts, and apart from that, it's pretty pathetic. But yeah, once again, do another intermission. I do want to try and start and wrap things up. I don't know if there's been a finals match that's been played, or if the winner has been decided yet. But I do want to try and cover that before we end this stream. So, gonna go in for another intermission. Might be a little bit longer than last time. So please just you know, stay tuned and see you in a little bit. And we are back. This will probably be one of the last casts I'm going to be doing for the stream. What we're going to be doing is, we pretty much got all the regular 3-round tournaments done, but we had a lot of people who played, so we've organised it in a hodgepodge fashion, and we're going to be doing a semi-finals between the top 6 players, and then from there figure out who has made the worst Divisional disaster deck. But I will be covering that with Karnorg during our regular casts throughout the week, so this will be the last one of the live stream, but we've still got more of these games to be seen from the people who've made really bad decks. I'm looking at you, Robert, and Time to Collision. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we're on Shell. We got Time to Collision playing Genshi. We've seen Time to Collision's deck before, but I'll bring it up once again for brevity's sake. It's a really bad 78th Sem division. It's terrible, it's awful, there's no infantry. I'm really sorry, Genshi, for having to fight up against this. And Genshi has a, if I can bring his deck up real fast, 44th if I recall, or 26th, I used to remember. It's 84th, it has a 4 in it somewhere. But also, not a lot of infantry, but a little bit nicer in regard. A lot of air power and some decent artillery. I mean, we've got an A-phase Katusha, I believe it was Katusha, and then Drusha. I can't see it on my screen, it's a little bit small, but not great either. It does actually have an IS-1, so probably the most heavily armoured tanks and heavily gun tanks we've seen so far. So we've been seeing a little bit of a spitball happening overhead between the PE3s and TU2s. Messerschmitts, trying to get a kill, but they're only recon Messerschmitts, so they don't have a lot of ammunition to begin with. Really quite pathetic loadout. I meant our IS-1 stats. It's a command IS-1 he has in his deck. I believe it's an IS-1. Oh no, it's an IS-2. Oh crap, never mind, it is. I'm blind. I can't tell my runs from my 2s. That's a really generous pick. That might as well be invincible. It is literally a King Tiger in this sort of matchup. More than a King Tiger. We've seen Chernos, which aren't great choices, but in 78th, having Chernos is much better than only having a handful of leaders. Just having any sort of 10-man infantry squad is such a huge boon in this sort of matchup, and goddamn, this furball has been going on for a long time, and no one can seem to kill the other. Really quite pathetic. Need some anti-air thrown and Stug getting killed by AT gun. There's planes galore. No one can do anything about the other one. No, the really with infantry, what you want to do is just take just the leaders with however you have things set up. I understand with some decks it's hard to do that because fill in the points requirement. 78th is pretty easy because you can take rhinos and other expensive things which are useless. That take up lots of slots and are just bad. We've seen some T-34s down south. Yeah, goddamn, I'm really surprised of how bad 78 was so far in this tournament. I was not expecting him to be this bad, because I think they're one of the best 1v1 divisions in team games. Well, not team games, but in 1v1 divisions in team games. That doesn't even make sense. But one of the best German divisions in general. They got really good infantry. They also have a lot of really bad stuff, and it's expensive slot rise. Or when you're trying to make them bad, oh boy, you can make them bad. Oh no, the commandant He's not going to be commanding much longer as the Russians getting close. We've seen the bikes and the KFZ4s coming in. What terrible units. Even with other bad units available, goddamn recon unarmored vehicles are still terrible. The Stokes, you know, slowly pounding away, but you know, without infantry, without anything to support them, they're not useful at all. Yeah, time to close into just huge swaths of land, just all over the place. I mean, the middle was definitely where he's gaining a lot of those flags under his control. The WC-52. That's actually not bad compared to the recon ones because it actually has a 50 cal machine gun. And with the other firepower, it does. Did it just disappear? Like it didn't even die; it just disappeared. You guys saw it, right? Like, there's not even a wreck or. What? I guess it got like sent to the Shadow Realm or something. I don't know. The T-34s here, definitely outnumbering the Stugs. We are seeing Mr. Nigel and Ashorn. But on a map like this, Nigel and Ashorn is never good. Is never a good pick. It just... There's a KFZ4 here, and when it died, it didn't die, it just disappeared. There's no wreckage, no nothing. It just vanished. I wonder if it's up in the KD log. We'll have to see if it actually vanished, or... if it, I mean, it definitely got killed, but whether it counted as a kill. And yeah, it's really not looking good for Genshi at all. It's just not enough stuff. And if these Russian divisions are usually better than German divisions in this tournament. Because the Russian bad stuff is usually baseline more better than the really bad German stuff. Like even the Russian equivalent of Ursad's trooping aren't that bad because they got machine guns. HU-46 in, which is a really useless plane. Yes, it can spot stuff, but it kind of gets killed very easily by anything, even a stiff breeze. Oh, look at those two-man troops being brought in, and a Katusha. And like of, you know, what do you expect of Katushas? They're just useless. It's absolutely useless. I said on my unit of the week, but I kind of wish these things would be buffed a little bit. I don't want them to become like how they were during the beta, where they would just completely destroy entire swaths of tank columns and one rocket salvo. They take forever to reload, they don't do any damage, they don't even do that much suppressive damage. You're just better off getting regular artillery, it's much more consistent. The Andrews is a bit different, the Andrews is actually pretty decent for what it is. That thing, when it hits hard. When it comes to choo TUs coming to a town near you. I think I wasn't a disappearance, but a unit that was like being brought in, you know, like, see, yeah, where it shows you the shadow of an icon. So maybe that's what happened the first time. I don't know. Maybe I was just disappearing. Again, she's a really good magician. We've got Duska spam down south. Duska's all firing on that one biplane. Can I actually shoot it down? Of course not. Of course not. That'd be too good for Duska's. Or he's much better. I mean, of course, it's a bad unit tournament, but in regular matches, or regular matches in general, if you have to pick between the Duska track or a Maxim 4M, which is 4 Maxim guns, or he's picking the Maxim, because I can actually shoot down stuff every now and again. Still not the best choice. You're much better off getting 37mm guns or M17s or anything else. But a Maxim 4M. Actually suppress something. Well, not suppress, but actually shooting down. And suppress them at the same time. And see bringing in Martyrs and more bear infantry. I mean, these 78th Division decks from like Time to Collision and Herr Robert don't have any like regular infantry at all. Which is probably good for them because the regular infantry in 78th is all really good. Apart from the Ersatz. I believe they got Ersatz, which are bad. There's really disgusting divisions. Just terrible. And I'm appalled with how bad these have actually been. If we do this again, I definitely have to like make a rule somewhere to make it so you have to take at least some baseline infantry. I don't know how exactly to write yet. What do you consider like a baseline infantry? Just regular rifle squads, and we'd have to define what regular rifle squads are. At the same time, I'm just speaking out loud here. I don't want to put too many rules in this tournament because it's just kind of limits the creativity and fun of it. They've definitely shown like what badness you can make of this deck. I hope we get to see Herr Robert and Genshi, or Herr Robert and Time to Collision go up against each other. I think Ban and 78th might just be the easiest choice next time because it's too easy to make him bad. I want to see a 78th go up against his 78th. Like, it'd be such a shit show with just barely anything going on. No infantry to speak of, it'd just be Nashorns and Nashorns, Stooks and Stooks, biplanes on JU-88s. It would not be a pretty sight. Yeah, the Hungarian techs have been really good, even when they're built pretty bad. Like, when everything's down to, like, when everything's been, like, dropped down to bad levels with units and whatnot, the Hungarian units are good. They're not bad, like, the tanks, the infantry. You know, even the crappy anti-tank guns, the 75 mils, the Hungarian 75s, when everything is also just light tanks, they actually shine and do a decent job. You know, the crappy AT guns, the 40 mils, they have HE shells. In this tournament, they've really performed well, which is not what you want. You want them to do awful. The Katyusha again, a second salvo in, and just look at that. Look at all that nothing it did. And that's going to be a GG. Time to Collision, taking another victory. And that's pretty close on kills, nothing too crazy here. Cherno was doing decent, 42 mil or 45 mil, M42. And Shooting Fury being the only useful thing in that 78th deck, all in all. Yeah, I think that pretty much speaks for itself. There have been some pretty bad divisions so far. But, yeah, that pretty much covers this live stream. There's going to be more of these matches throughout next week, as me and Connor will be co-casting the semi-finals and finals matches. I don't want to do them right now. I don't even think we might even get to them today, because I want Khan to be here. It's definitely a little bit more interesting when it's just, you know, not just me. But, yeah, thank you very much for everyone who's participated so far in this tournament. I hope you enjoyed it. I understand, you know, this isn't the most organised thing. There's definitely been some hiccups we've had to overcome so far. And it's not the most balanced tournament or anything along those lines. We're just really just here for fun. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. This has been great fun to set up, and I've really enjoyed seeing the creativity that everyone has so far of the decks they have built. And, yeah, I expect to see more of this in the near future. So thank you very much for stopping in and all that good stuff, and as usual,